Good evening, everyone. Trying to figure out what is going on. There we go. Good evening, everyone. It's your boy Tyrus, the Warlock here. I'm already pissed off, guys, because as we're speaking, the Israeli Defense Force just released a video, probably like half an hour ago, dropped this mega bomb that was apparently banned in South Lebanon. Um, Talking about they was trying to aim for a specific facility. I really don't want to bring it up right now because they released a video and everything. Um, Again, directly from the IDF. Guys, go look for yourselves. It looks like that's a hell of a lot more than just a facility they struck. But anyway, we'll just try to, we're gonna do random updates throughout the pod like we always do. But overall, guys, good evening. How you doing? It's been crazy week. Um, every li- Everything's just been like, I know the heat wave, guys. I know it's hot as balls outside. Please, please make sure you are drinking water. All right, please make sure you're drinking water. Um, we've already had a few casualties. I don't know why people are still trying to hike in the Grand Canyon. That don't make any sense, but okay. As y'all know, there's been about 1,000 deaths related to the heat wave in France alone, guys. And all of Europe, right, is experiencing a massive heat wave, right? It's really funny that with all like the shit talking going on, you would think, you would seriously think the deputy mayor of Paris has a lot more going on than to respond to a bunch of trolls on the internet, and then with the most brain dead take imaginable. She literally tried to blame us, the Americans, and our AC use for why France is experiencing such a catastrophic heat wave right now. Like, bro, even other European countries are roasting the dog shit out of her. Why would you? First off, why would you say some dumb shit like that? And who would seriously think that that was a serious take? That is such a brain dead take. So us having our ACs going right now, that's the reason. That's the main reason why the heat wave is so catastrophic in France. Like, just shut up, lady. Like, you have so much other shit to worry about, and then to comment that, absolutely ridiculous, man. Um, Tucker Carlson recently announced that he was going to create a third party, right? So it seems like that's just the wave right now. Is everybody just trying to do their own party? Um, Remember, guys, Andrew Yang started his own party. That's not really going well. Started that like a few years ago. Trying to do this third party, and now Tucker Carlson, right? Because remember, he said he left the Republican Party a couple weeks ago, and now he's going to be. Oh, okay. Hey, man, look, I am not going to sit here and tell my fellow Americans that trying to create a third party and a third party wave is a waste of time because we really need some opposition. So, you know what, Tucker Carlson, if you think you can get some true, disciplined, traditional conservatives on your side, you go right ahead. You know what I mean? Good luck out there. Um, And you're gonna need a lot of luck because you're dealing with someone in Donald Trump, guys, who, just so everybody's up to speed of what just happened as well. Donald Trump declined to renew the USMCA, right? That was the trade deal that he signed in his first term, uh, between between us, Canada, and Mexico. Donald Trump is telling people and is saying to the media that he hates that trade deal. Dog, you fucking signed it. You're the one who negotiated this deal. And it's just right. And y'all know we're already dealing with so much crap, guys. We're already dealing with so much of the trade war that we still haven't even that that we're still not handling correctly. And so now we got another trade war, and again, or another trade deal that we need to trust Trump to negotiate. Guys, y'all see how Iran's going? Do y'all really trust Trump? Really, guys, the art of the deal? You know what I mean? I just want to let y'all know this is the leader of the channel, who is a avid Trump supporter, trying to claim that I'm the one who voted for Trump. Please don't. Please don't. Uh, the Supreme Court rulings. Holy shit. Now, here I was thinking that some of the rulings, or if you took all the rulings together, right, it was maybe a mixed bag, right? There's some rulings you don't like, some rulings maybe you like, or you think go the right way. Like, for example, I don't know anybody who was expecting anything different from the birthright citizenship. First and foremost, I can't believe that a fucking executive order even found its way to the Supreme Court. That was some horseshit to begin with, to even get challenged like that. But everybody and their mama should have known it was not going to get struck down or repealed or anything like that. You're talking about a precedent that has been around for 150 years at least. Some of y'all's lineage watching this show and will be tuning into the future somewhere down the line required some sort of birthright citizenship. Some one of y'all ancestors was a fucking anchor baby, right? Because let's be clear, not everybody came here with origins from slavery or origins from the Mayflower, England. A lot of y'all uh were second, third, fourth wave immigrants, and there's a reason why guess what? You're only 20% German or 15% Swedish or 12% English, because you just as mixed up as everybody else, because somebody was an anchor baby down in your lineage as well. But I digress on that specific point. Overall, nobody should have been surprised that birthright citizenship wasn't going to get struck down. And I need everybody to understand, stop falling for any of this fear mongering that conservatives are yapping about, as far as like the pregnant women, again, the whole anchor baby and the pregnancy market or whatever the hell. Guys, they have been fear mongering about that nonsense, about that rare fringe shit for decades now. I need everybody to understand, nothing of our daily lives, as far as birthright citizenship, is going to has changed and will change. Okay, life is going to go on just fine. All right. Anybody trying to make a big deal out of that ruling specifically, like, stop it. I see the conservatives upset with the transgender, uh, the sports one, the transgendered bans. And here's why, guys. So the Supreme Court ruled, and that was a 5-4 ruling. So the birthright citizenship, guys, was 6-3. right? Was a 6-3 ruling. This one was a 5-4 ruling, I believe. And this one had to do with the fact that I think Idaho and another state, it might have been South Carolina, uh, they had put a ban on transgendered athletes, right? And so what the Supreme Court did was, right, affirm or uphold their rights as states to enforce that. The reason why conservatives are upset is because they thought the Supreme Court was going to take it a step further and put an entire ban on transgendered people in women's sports, and they didn't. So all they did was reaffirm the states have a right to choose their own laws. So guess what? If you live in a blue state, the transgendered laws or whatever is not something you got to worry about. In a red state, I guess that's something, you're going to be cool with. But guess what? That's part of the things that, right, culturally, state by state issues, right? State rights, as conservatives like. So they should like that ruling, despite the fact that they're somehow pissed off about it. It's weird that Donald Trump is the only one who really understands the gravity of the Supreme Court ruling with allowing the president to just fire anybody he wants, as well as the other ruling that basically removed any limitations from coordinated campaign donations for a specific candidate. Specifically, guys, the executive branch one, because that just means whoever's the next president, whether they're Republican or Democrat, they could just kick out whoever's appointed, right? And all you're doing is just cheapening the authority of the office or the respect of the executive branch, right? If we could just fire people whenever we want, then what's the point of even doing a confirmation process? What's the point of doing all the hearings and everything? Andrew says some countries still have slavery in Middle East and Africa. Yes, and we need to put a stop to that. I don't know what that got to do with anything. Well, ladies, I hope you enjoyed your sports. Bro, stop the fear monger. Yeah, bro, the 0.002% of transgender athletes, bro. They're coming. Hey, ladies, they're coming for all y'all shit, bro. That 0.002% of the pop, they are coming to take all your shit. Huh? Reported for what? And bro, you still gave me a view. So hey, thanks, Brian, for supporting the show. Oh, that's what his previous comment was. This dude just be coming on random channels complaining about shit. Andrew, how are people gonna come on, dog? Like this is some being scared of your own shadow shit. Like, stop it, Andrew. It's too late for all that shit, bro. You know what I mean? It's too late in the evening, and it's too hot outside for all that nonsense right now, dog. Uh, but yeah, guys, it's just going to cheapen anything that the next president tries to do. But again, Trump is so concerned with short-term gains. He doesn't think about long-term anything because long-term anything doesn't concern him. That's the kind of crap we elect. That's the kind of crap person and behavior we've elected to office. He's not concerned with the long-term future of the country, right? But enough with the updates. I wanted to mainly get into hey Rogue, how you doing, man? You guys might want to join me for this one in a bit. This will be this one right here. I want some real questions to answer, right? Um I really need my fellow Democrats to, or the Democratic Party specifically, I need you guys to understand that if you're scared of this software update, you need to get the fuck up out the way. If the recent election wins by some of these Democratic socialists, New York, the one recently that just happened right down in Colorado, why are you concerned? It's not like you have any good fucking ideas, establishment Democrats. I mean, that's why you guys aren't in control of shit to begin with, right? No matter how much of the backdoor fear mongering some of you establishment Democrats have tried to do, and I'm really glad a lot of you guys have been losing your fucking primaries, some of you incumbent Democrats. At the end of the day, here's what here's what all three uh, demographics are seeing right now, for better or worse, whatever you decide to say is good or bad. Conservatives, liberals, independents are watching Mamdani, and they see what he's done in 6 months. At the end of the day, they've seen, oh, wait, you can do the basic fundamental shit of government, which is filling the potholes, making sure the streets are cleared and everything like that, making sure the infrastructure and everything that people walk on and the sidewalks and everything is cleaned up and up to par, right? Guess what, guys? All the fear mongering about the wealthy people leaving, they haven't fucking left. They still on CNBC yapping and still threatening the same crap they've been threatening for months now. Bro, the commie POS has done nothing. Like, this comment only makes sense if you're a moron. See what I mean? Like guys, they really, like, people really come up here, they say this, and they really think, oh man, I really fucking, yeah. Bro, how come the commies are doing way more? And by the way, he's not a commie, but your own self-described commie, how come he's doing way better than any of your leadership? You know what I mean? And guess what? I don't have to live there. You know what I mean? You can see the results, and you can see the people speaking about the results. You get what I mean? And then look at this other asinine comment. Leave America if you hate it so much. Did this clown leave America when Biden was in office, or did he stay on the computer and troll the whole time? You see what I mean? Like, this is, guys, this is conservatives right here. They'll never take their own advice. You get what I mean? They'll never take their own advice. Like, Jared just told a military vet with 2 deployments to Iraq that if I don't like this, if I hate America, to leave it. Imagine thinking that criticizing your country equals hate. That's how stupid Jared Williams 8899 is. That he really thinks critiquing your country to be better equals hate, and you should never critique your country. You either love it fully or you should fucking leave. This right here is what's wrong with the country. And Democrats, don't be trying to court idiots like this, because idiots like this will ruin everything. They've already ruined enough of our country to begin with. Hey, but thanks, what is it, Jared Wellman? Hey, thanks, bro. Thanks for supporting the channel, and thanks for being a shining example of what not to be. Right? Don't be a bootlicker. So anyway, back to the Democrats, because I guess the conservatives really hate it when I talk about somebody other than them. There's this guy Carville or something like that. I think he's like an LSU alum. I know he's been around. He's like 80 something, right? He's constantly yapping and he's on TV talking about, well, I don't, I don't recognize the Democratic Party, bro. Good. If you don't recognize the Democratic Party, good. That means we're transitioning to something better, or at least they're starting to. Because your flavor of the Democratic Party, Carville, is ass-tastic. It's fucking shit. Right? It's a bunch of neo-lib, kumbaya, let's not really get anything done. We're just going to sound more polite about it than the Republicans. But you still don't fucking get anything done. At the end of the day, Carville, you're worried about people who are showing you actually care about doing their job properly. Like, this is what's insane, guys. The establishment Democrats, just like the establishment Republicans, even though, right, I guess the right wing is ended up being just as useless as they were. The establishment Dems are pissed off that, well, we got people running that are actually interested in doing their fucking jobs. Holy shit. Like, I know, like Hakeem Jeffries, that must be such a bad thing. Right? That must be such a bad thing that you actually got people who want to fulfill the role of public servant. Because a lot of y'all forget what that freaking means. Like, an elected official is a public servant. They work for us, not the other way around. Captain Thrust, it's because Jared is bootlicker. Absolutely. Jose Angel Avitia. Hey guys, I'm really sorry, Jose. Demonic Democrat ideology. Sure, bro. Sure. Thanks for supporting the channel. Jared again, you're a lefty, whiny bitch. Couldn't give a shit if you're a vet. Bro, but you're still here. You're still here. You know what I mean? Hey, Jared, you must like me a little bit. Just a little bit. Hey, Rogue, how's it going, bro?
Chilling, man. What the word is?
Man, just
What is the update that you are trying to spur the Democratic Party to accept? And if they don't accept it, what is to be, the surface of that non-desired result?
First and foremost, the thing that they're whining about, the establishment Democrats, is this anti-Israel wave that a lot of the Democratic Socialists are coming with. And while sure, some of them has said some dicey shit, a lot of politicians, when they're up and coming from some grassroots, have said some dicey shit. And at the end of the day, I care about what their plan is for America. I don't care about what their plan is for another country.
Okay,
because at the end of the day, go ahead.
Do you understand why they would have such a sentiment, though? I don't think that is one that can be pointed out as something that is largely a Democrat factor, because you have a lot of other people from other stances who also have anti-Zionist perspectives. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So are the Democrats, are they anti-Israel or are they anti-Zionists?
I don't know. I would hope they're just anti-Israel.
Damn.
Because, well, yeah, bro. And when I say anti-Israel, I hope you know I'm talking about the government.
You're talking about the Zionists.
Wait, so when you're talking about the government, you're talking about the Zionists.
Well, I would suspect so, because I mean, you've observed the government of Israel sharing certain sentiment that mirrors a certain kind of, mustache man in the past who would say, hey, kudos, you picked up something. You learned.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right then, you know what I mean? If that isn't, if if they're not, that's not a Zionist sentiment. They've been doing that
So,
forever. So the thing is, they just went
and
Trump
that's the
with it.
thing, Rogue. For me, they've been doing it forever, regardless of whether they're a Zionist or not in the Israeli government. The Israeli government and how they've been interacting with the Middle East and how they've affected our policy here in America, regardless of they're Zionists or not, the Israeli government has been a problem.
True that. Agreed.
You know what I mean? And there's nothing anti-Semitic about criticizing a government body.
No, it's just that
You know what I mean?
you disagree with the model that they utilize, but as
Right.
well as
But that's the problem with the
United States. You know what I mean?
But that's the problem with the establishment Dems, Rogue, is that they'll still try, however failing. Some of them recently are still trying to attach being anti-Israeli government with being anti-Jew.
I mean, well, the thing
Those
is,
are not the same thing.
Well, they're not the same thing, but that is that's a USian perspective of measuring that, because our government isn't connected to the people.
Yeah,
And we
it
assume
doesn't
that
our
everybody else's
perspective matters
government
because it's
is
our
potentially
taxpayer
as-
money.
as corrupt. Okay, but the thing
Yeah.
is, once you let the corporations own everything, what the hell is a government if your government has to bend the knee to private families? The government is supposed to be representative of all. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The total populace.
I
Doesn't
agree.
matter. It doesn't matter
Bro.
the class level, economic, social, whatever.
Right. So I agree with you. And we've talked about the whole private families before, I think last week, or at least we touched on that before. We're in
Right.
agreement. But just because that's also shit doesn't mean we should allow the government aspect to also be shit. We got to start somewhere. And for us, the easiest part to clean up or to at least try to have an effect on is this recent wave of public servants or candidates who want to be public servants and who are not trying to bend the will to the Israeli government.
Okay.
You got to start somewhere.
Okay, but the thing is, if our government has already been, you know what I'm saying, playing yes man to it, what does how is it that an up and coming one actually, you know what I'm saying, chosen champion from the people, of the people, is going to be able to participate within, you know what I'm saying, in that pantheon, safe and have their word actually, you know what I'm saying, mean for legislation potentially as anyone else's. The thing is, we're looking at power dynamics. We're not looking at just economic models that could be utilized, that economic models or governing models that may be detrimental to others, that could not be utilized and another model be selected, right? This is so much more. We're looking at power acquisition, and that carries no moral with it. That's only if those who are out to acquire the power, you know, if they can lead with a moral intention. Well, once the moral intention isn't there, you can't call that into no accountability. You got to accept that it's a dirty game, and just as they're telling us here for the longest, it's the lesser of two evils. You got to accept the lesser of two evils, which is some bullshit.
Rogue, respectfully, we can accept that's what it is now, and we can also accept that we can try to change it. Because think about what you just said, Rogue. Maybe the system was functional, but then we turned it into letting the private families. Well, if it changed that way, that means we could change it back.
When was the system functional? When was it balanced?
You know what's crazy, Rogue? Our system was probably the most functional in the golden era that conservatives love yapping about, which is the 50s and 60s. Purely, let's be clear, Rogue, purely economics.
Okay.
Purely economic speaking.
I can dig it. We can go there.
That was also the highest tax rate American history, period.
Okay.
Plus a bunch of other layers that went into that.
Okay. Now what was it that was unsustainable about that model? It was the other factors involved that aided into said growth and said potential. So it again, you get right back to power, and I don't know. I don't think human beings really understand power because
That
it, the thing is the moves that are being made are moves that establish on intention through generations, not just this is what this country did this year, or this is what they did this month or whatever, and then in 3 years, everybody forget about it. Is once you make those kind of moves, you've now set your own cosmic drop in the pond, if you will, and them ripples are gonna do what they do. I think what it is, this government. I think our old model of government is obsolete. And yes, the people
yes,
do require a healthy representative within a collective of the entirety of their being, right? But if the old government has been bought out and it won't permit even, what I'm saying, subpar governments, even within, what I'm saying, the grounds to operate, that will still be subservient to, what I'm saying, big brother, if you will. It's like, all right, then, well, what are the people to do if they actually need a more healthy governing situation? What is it that
you're
creates one in the beginning?
we're literally seeing the wave starting now, Rogue. You have people in New York State and now in Colorado and in parts of California, and it's going to be a movement of people going, these establishment Dems of the old ways aren't working anymore. We're
Right.
putting in new blood. That's literally what's happening, Rogue, and that's literally the only direction you can go.
Yeah.
Right? If your elected leadership or the leadership you get is not representing you, you put somebody else in. And that, as far as the Democratic Party go, that is exactly what they're doing. New York, all the people, all those Democratic socialists that are under Mamdani, that has, again, Rogue, they've won the primaries against incumbent Democrats in the House.
Okay.
You get what I mean?
Okay.
So that's how you do it. That's the start.
I had a pilgrim
That's the
talking to
process.
me to that with that at the clinic today, and he said he, he said they're going to try to establish Sharia law there. Are there before we even get to that, are there that large of a number of that style of practitioner of Islam there in New York?
No.
Okay.
And then the Muslims that do exist in New York City is about as American as you can get. Hey, look, I'm not trying to put some of them on blast, Rogue, but some of them make jokes about sneaking in some of like the bacon pepperoni pizzas and shit like that. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna try to put on some of our fellow Americans on that, but some of them not so strict on Ramadan. You get what I mean?
Yeah, true that. They get their vanilla, they get their vanilla ice cream with a little bit of that glycerin in it. You know what I mean? All right, then.
Yeah, man. So, but that's how you start. And let's be clear. It's just a process, right, Roke? Because that just means they got through the primary. And we're just talking about the few right now of this current wave that recently won. They got through the primary. They still need to battle it out against the Republican candidate. You see what I mean? Into the general election.
But this is the thing. What, to me, I don't know. People see Trump as Republican, right? I don't see Trump as Republican. I see Trump as a motherfucking tycoon who would parlay his way into the hell of a lick. Something that he probably believed that he was supposed to have already had maybe in his 20s or something like that. I project him having that type of audacity. That's how he operate with it. So, you know what I'm saying? He playing Republican, but the whole thing that gave it all up was the MAGA. You know, make America great again. Selling a new kind of dream. It sounded like something that Obama would say. But he ran on hope and what was the other one? Hope and something. But hope,
Change.
Hope and change.
Yeah.
He ran on hope and change. And where I was the only cat asking the question. Do y'all think he took that to the Boston Business Bureau when he spoke with them? Do you think he took that to Manhattan? Do you think he went up there preaching hope and change to Manhattan, to Miami?
I don't know. Trump was certainly
way.
bragging about the economy Obama handed him when he first took office.
Well, either way it goes, the thing is the jig, pardon the pun, the jig was up. You know what I'm saying?
Was it?
Yeah, it was up because
record low unemployment that Trump immediately took credit for the moment that wasn't a jig to him.
Well, the thing is, he's Trump though, and that's the ill part. Y'all called Donald Trump into some type of accountability. This motherfucker been tycoon. He's Richie Rich. If Richie Rich was a real person, he's been tycooning for a long time. You're not going to get that type of person to act blue collar. You're not going to. He's above.
Rogue,
white
you're
collar.
Preaching to the choir, bro.
No. But
you got to be talking to them actual Trump supporters, dog.
Look, they're the motherfucking social litmus test right there. They the one that, bro. These motherfuckers are the main ones. Are the main ones that are closeted haters of him right now.
Yes, Rogue, and they're going to be the ones who are X factor and a lot of these more leftist, more progressive candidates winning. Because, bro, you've heard, I've never heard the farmers really go, bro, we didn't even ask for this bailout. We want our markets back. Like, that's what the farmers, for all the shit I give them, that's what they're saying right now. We're not going to be sustainable on the bailouts because we want our markets back. Rogue, just for an example, with the soybeans, 2024 Biden, 2023 or 2024, $24 billion. That's how much our farmers sold just to China alone.
Soybeans.
Soybeans in 2025.
24 million?
24 billion.
24 billion? Fuck.
2025, under Trump, with the trade war, that dropped to 12 billion.
Okay.
And then, remember the 40 billion that we had, or we didn't have to, that Trump gave Argentina. Argentina is the China, because they wasn't buying our soybeans anymore. They went to Argentina to offset the soybean loss from the American farmers. You see what I mean? So instead of buying from our Americans, they bought from Argentina. And by the way, they locked down that deal at the same time Trump gave them that fucking $20 billion bailout.
Okay.
By the way, we had a big problem with our farmers with the cattle prices right now, with the beef. You know what Trump did? Trump went to Argentina again to import more cattle over there. That actually fucked our cattle ranchers over.
But see, that's the whole thing. If it looks like the United States, if it looks like the United States is tanking itself, at what point will the citizens start acknowledging that? Everybody want to put it on Trump. When people holler Trump, it's no different from when I was in the first grade and I heard y'all try to tell me about Hitler. And you didn't know nothing that he did. You just heard his name. And as bad as his name sounded, the only other motherfucker was the devil. Lucifer, nigga, that was it. You know what I'm saying? 1982, Hitler and Lucifer was the most evil motherfucker by name alone, right?
Yeah.
And now when people,
but I mean, he was the mastermind. He's the head honcho in charge. Rogue, you know this, bro. When you're the head of the operation, you get all the shine and all of the blame because the buck stops with you.
Okay, but what about Congress itself? All
Congress that's enabling Trump.
Yes.
And again,
but the people won't acknowledge that. Just like in the ill ways of how Obama was up in there, because he was in there on some gangster shit as well. Congress enabled him, because that's the position of the United States king, aka president. They gotta play that position. It's not in the.
But person. They don't. But they don't. But
yeah, they do.
But they don't. They do. And our Congress has, for better
country. Cause wait a minute, first and foremost, you got to acknowledge this is a gangster ass country.
Yeah.
And You don't think
There's
so?
nothing controversial about. I said, yeah. There's nothing controversial about what you said.
Okay, so the thing is, how they operate is how they operate. It's not in the person that's in the position. It's what the chair calls for. If you pay attention to the shit, if you get in a first time, more than likely you're going to get in a second time. Once they get in that second time, at the end of that second time, they get hella gangster. They do all kind of shit to turn the people against them. And you hear, I done seen the shit happen with Reagan. I done seen the shit happen with Bush. I done seen the shit happen with Clinton, Bush Jr.
Yeah.
With Trump.
So
and all
not
that,
to
but
turn
Trump,
it,
go ahead.
not to turn it into the Obama thing, bro, but he was the first. That was the first time Congress ever openly declared, Mitch McConnell, our goal is to make Obama a one-term president. And that was before that man even swore into office.
Okay,
right.
but
And so, no, the
was
Congress, sometimes the
shit. That was
Congress,
race shit.
but what I'm saying is sometimes the Congress isn't enabling the president if they're not aligned with the president. If the Congress is the opposing party, they're not going to be aligned. And what I'm saying is sometimes if you're enabling it, Rogue, you've implied it too. Sometimes that's not a good thing.
Right.
I mean, they're supposed to be co-equal branches, which means they're supposed to be a check on one another.
But the thing is, what if
And
the
so
model
when it's not
has
working,
run,
Rogue,
has had its run?
Rogue, and that's what I'm telling you. It's ran its course, and people are now voting for a change. That's why I'm
talking the whole process. If you think that you can submit a vote and place it in that same model for it to work in ways that the other votes didn't, as the model continue to spoil and continue to falter and grow ever more
because
unconnected to identifying itself to its constituency.
We don't live in a country where we can wipe the slate clean in one shot. I wish we can do that. We don't. So guess what, Rogue? The next best thing is you got to do it in waves. Let me use a different analogy, a different concept. Let's say you're a state, Rogue, and you're trying to get high-speed rail built in your state, right?
Okay.
Do you try to build the entire system at one go, or do you pick what state do you live in?
Right now I'm in Texas.
Or do you pick, let's say, Dallas to San Antonio or something, or Austin to Dallas, one of those connections, right?
Right.
Let's just pick one of the ways that is the most traveled way first.
Okay.
We pick this route first, and now everybody sees this railway works. Now, now we want one going to Houston. Now we want one going to San Antonio. Now, hey, man, can we get a regional one to fucking Wichita Falls or some shit like that? What about, hey, can we get a little stop at Lufkin?
Yeah.
You see what I mean? But guess what happens, Rogue, if you try to do it in one clean slate?
You'll never get it done.
You spread too thin, you never get it done, and now you got a bunch of people talking about, man, government can't do this shit. It's always ineffective. Well, that's because you're trying to do too fucking much. But people need to see, Rogue, you know that's basic psychology. People need to see it work. People need to see the change. And guess what? Even though it was one person in one city, however big New York City is, Rogue, even though it is still just one city in America, people saw somebody actually practice what they preach.
Okay. Respect to that.
And so you got a whole bunch of people who are like, yo, we like this guy.
You know what? The system can work if we use it.
The system, absolutely, Rogue, because guess what?
So what are those factors in the system that is not permitting it to work by those lawful attendants and loyal citizens who are just looking to see if they can achieve a bit or a portion or a crumb of that dream that is purported is present? And have to deal with the sabotage at the same time. So you understand how conflicted one, can be with this.
I understand, but again, it's just, it has to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Like seriously, like at this point, Rogue, I don't know what to tell you except it has to start somewhere. Because right now, what we have right now, we're both in agreement, it's not working. So the clear answer isn't to just let the system continue going as is, because it's not working.
I mean, but now this is the caveat. The current ruling dynamic, they have no problem with the trajectory whatsoever, and any of the detrimental factors that what I'm saying, the lower sessions of titanium, what I'm saying, might be partaking of. I mean, for real, that's the whole thing. Is to me, it's not the issue with the government. The government's not the issue. Not even the ruling private sector, right? You know what I'm saying? The technocracy and all that. Not even them. The issue is that which connects the people to their society. There's something that's happened with that bond, which makes it not as synergistic, is that the word, that it was initially set up to be for the universality of it. You know what I'm saying? Like people are valuing reality first through their market barcode, not through, you know what I'm saying, the element of people, of just human. This society is going hyper commodified. The issue is that the value that people believe that they are perceiving or is presented to them is something that inevitably wanes them of that which they need to be able to be in accord with one another healthily. It's you know what I'm saying? It's turned into a fuck you pay me style of reality, especially for Western societies. Yep. And this one is showing all the signs of decay that the societies of the past displayed when they were on their way out the door. You can't not acknowledge that. There are so many essential factors that must be tended to prior to one's participation in within their government. You're losing the family. You're losing the family. You're pretty much losing the neighborhood. You got people losing themselves. What the fuck does it matter if the government operates under your political intention? You know what I'm saying, in a respectful and adequate representative, if the people themselves are being drowned out in the process. Hive-minded type shit.
Mm-hmm. So people have saw, again, this country that I'm about to name is not perfect by any means. And right now, of course, I'm still going to choose America over China. But rogue. People are seeing that government can work. Oh, we can get roads built. We can't get actual trade deals signed. We can't get housing built. We can't get high-speed rail built, right? Yes, it comes with its problems, but one thing we're seeing, right, is that the basic role of government should not be controversial, rogue.
Facts.
Right? And so a lot of the times, the standards are so low here in America that unfortunately, rogue, everything I just mentioned was just the basic job of an elected official.
Yeah, pretty much.
You see what I mean? And maybe that's why I get frustrated, because we really are talking about raising the bar back to where it used to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like really trying to make it back to zero so that you can really start counting again.
But at the end of the day, we got to make it to zero somehow.
Yeah.
And there has to be somebody trying to get to zero. We'll try to at least get it back to the standard. And there are. It's not saying they're going to be successful. Every last one's going to be successful. But at least you got the people. That's what campaigning, that's what politicking is in every country, is trying to sell the American people or trying to sell the people your vision, right? And at least right now, Rogue, the establishment Dems' vision for America is no. the vision that the Mamdanis and the AOCs and the Crockett's and them talking about, yes, because guess what, Rogue? They don't care if we're white, black, Latino, conservative, if you're fucking Christian nationalist or you're Muslim. If you go get hurt, you shouldn't go into medical debt for that.
Facts.
You get what I mean? When you go into work, it doesn't matter what your religion or your gender is, bro. You shouldn't be dealing with massive car repair bills because of a inadequate infrastructure that your taxes paid to maintain.
Facts.
Right? And so when I'm looking at the wave of the Mamdani, like the Democratic Socialists, I see people who are interested in doing the fundamental job of government. You see what I mean, Rogue? And so I just got to start there. They're talking about potholes. They're talking about healthcare. They're talking about bridges. Let's go.
Yeah. They saying the right shit.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's just the fundamentals. And that mean that the current administrations have been holding, or past administrations have been holding off from delivering that ease of, I guess, enrich or increase quality of life that they could have offered. So for what? Just lining their pockets? So to me, if government, is mainly filled with motherfuckers who are lining their pockets more than anything. At what point do we, how are we measuring the efficacy of this? Just like you say, just that one step at a time. When they got full power to make the legislation change and have shit happen, not necessarily overnight, but you know what I'm saying, a decent inertia to it towards where you reach an adequate point of finality with it. You know what I'm saying? They don't draw it out. I don't know.
This is what, Rogue,
let me land with this.
Yeah.
Let me land with this.
Yeah.
My citizenry has always said they fucking with us. That's what my citizenry has always told me. You know what I'm saying? It don't feel like it's same class. It don't feel second class. It doesn't feel tertiary, quaternary, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I got a much harsher or much higher bar for what I consider a quality government, a quality ruling model. This is unto any society, not just America.
I agree. I want to be clear here. I agree. But I also have to re-emphasize, we have to start somewhere. Right? Because I can't stress this enough, Rogue. The bare minimum of what any government official is supposed to do, regardless of party, is now a battle line. It's now controversial. You see what I mean? Like
deterioration overall, though. I mean, shit, really.
Yeah, it just like if it and so yeah, bro. I wish I would love to take that next step and get to higher than just the standard, but right now we got to get to the standard. And that comes with not being dragged around by the leash to a country that we fund.
Facts.
Okay. Right? Because that's a lot of our money, Rogue, your money, my money, the people watching's money, regardless of how we feel about government being a solution or continuing to be a problem, we rather that money stay here.
But what if that's how this government was designed to operate?
Again, that design wasn't, what I'm saying is that it wasn't designed like that out the gate. It morphed into that recently, which means we could morph it back. We can, right? Just because it's designed like this now doesn't mean we can't recreate something better in the future. We can't mold something better in the future. Like, come on, Rogue.
You can definitely mold something better. But the thing is, like 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 you're talking about changing this government. This government is led by families. What families finna let you change them?
First, actually, Rogue, I actually disagree with that. And here's why. You know all the yapping the Fortune 500 companies did about DEI back when Biden was in office?
Okay.
You know that even when they implemented the DEI programs, every single one of those companies had record profits, record stock market gains.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And despite all the yapping in on CNBC, you know what they kept doing? They kept hiring people because, holy shit, this kind of works.
Right.
You see, wealthy people are going to complain no matter what, but the reality is, Rogue, the wealthy people are going to be wealthy no matter what the government policy is.
Right.
They got some of the highest taxes in countries like Germany, Norway, Denmark, Sweden. Rogue, you don't think there's wealthy people there?
Definitely.
You don't think the wealthy people found a way to stay wealthy there?
Definitely. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you got to stop thinking about the poor elitists with their 3 yachts, bro. They're going to be just fine. Okay? They are going to be just fine.
Look, I understand
because at the end of the day, they need
us.
They need us for their consumerism in the first place.
Yes, but that's the whole issue of why I brought up the whole valuing standard about 15 minutes ago. The issue between all of this is consumerism. It is consumerism. It has taken over as the reason for valuing for people. And now you got, you know what I'm saying, you got these governments that pretty much turn people into some form of a social herd.
I agree.
So it does, you know what I mean? So I'm very.
So what you're getting at, Rogue, is what I'm telling you in the audience. It doesn't matter what the current system is laid out if you do not have the right people in place to implement it, to enforce it. Then it doesn't matter how good your system is if you got a scumbag who finally gets in there and then doesn't practice what he preach. Your system's not good. Like your head coach, like Rogue, your head coach could have a perfect scheme, but at some point, as you've seen, a perfect scheme doesn't hide a terrible quarterback when it's time for a 2-minute drive. That shitty quarterback is still going to lose you the game. You got to have the right people. It takes 2 to tango. You got to have the right appropriate system and the right people to enforce said system.
Okay.
That's the problem, bro. We're too imbalanced.
Think any of this result of imbalance was desired by those who put the people in the position?
Rogue, of course it was desired. And that's the thing. It's always going to be desired because power is always desirable by humans. That's why you have to try your best and pair it with other people who's going to put it in check. Because we know there's going to be the wealthy, the private families, and everything. But government is still a service to the many people, not to the elite. So you have to make sure you elect people, regardless if they're Republican or Democrat. You got to make sure that they're interested in serving the majority first, not whatever the wealthy is, regardless of party. But one of the problems with the system, and this is, or another problem, Rogue, is that the people that we have allowed to be elected officials and judges have also rigged the game in favor of the private people, private families, with things like the campaign contributions and shit like that.
Yeah.
Right? Because the system morphed into it being money is your vote. Right? Money is how you get shit done. Right. We need to get away from that. And you start getting away from that by voting for people who plan on being public servants and not corporate sponsors.
Okay, true that. And the thing is, I mean, that's nothing. That's nothing new. That's
Real quick,
definitely
Rogue.
ideal.
Real quick, Rogue.
Yeah.
This right here. I got to stop this.
Go ahead.
Dude, the wealthy are going to leave, and the taxes they don't pay anymore. We, the working people, got to pay. Nothing's free, man. Money leaves, and it needs to be replaced. Hey, bro, did you tell your favorite corporate slave master that when he's taking taxpayer subsidies left and right? Did you tell the farmers that when their demographic is one of the highest demographics on food stamps and government assistance? Right? Like I'm tired of the fear monger. Everybody says the wealthy are going to leave, and you know what happens, Rogue? They never fucking leave.
I mean, and go where though? What the hell? You know what I'm saying? Where they finna go?
They never leave. You know why? Because this is, again,
Mars.
We've talked, Rogue, you and I have talked about this, the lack of education, because a lot of Americans talk about our taxes like it's so high. Oh my fucking God. You know why the wealthy stay, or Rogue, you know this, but guys, y'all know why the wealthy stay in America, right? There's a reason they don't flee to Europe.
Yeah, the tax is not tax evasion, but you might as well say tax evasion. Legalize tax evasion.
like this is crazy, bro. Like they don't go anywhere except the same locations. They're gonna go to LA. They're gonna go to New York. They're gonna go to Miami.
Property.
Yep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this is crazy, bro. Like the wealthy people, again, the wealthy people are also people who want to be in the most popular areas.
Yeah.
That's why they buy the property where they buy it. Like this, come on, man.
So, okay, so with this new fresh crop of representatives of integrity, right? And
Alleged.
They ain't been tested yet.
No, they just can't. Rogue, you've heard me. I'm being fair. They're just campaigning. They still got to get in office and put in work if they get the job. But continue.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right then. So like you said, so it got to be a start. It's and I won't rob them of their start. I won't rob them of their start if so far, they are believed to be possessed of integrity. You know what I'm saying? Everybody get the benefit of the doubt for that. That's the human thing to do. So, all right, I can rock with that.
You know why right-wingers and random-ass rural places around the country are even showing Mamdani love, even though they really hate the socialist communist thing? Because they have to acknowledge, like, well, we don't like what he's doing, but at least he's doing exactly what he campaigned on.
Like you say, if you're getting results and you're providing that, which is fundamental, I mean that's a hella quality result. So, you know what I'm saying? Even if you disagree with whatever's national or religious standing is or background or whatever, to add to the quality of life through infrastructure development is I mean that's you get salute for that. You know what I mean?
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
It's
Yo,
do you live in like the rural Texas?
Nah.
What's going on?
Fuck nah. I'm in North Dallas, man. Shit.
Okay.
I'm here with them motherfuckers. You know what I mean? It's
so
like a bunch of fucking people who drive Maseratis and them 4-door Porsches and Lamborghinis and Dallas is so motherfucking pompous. North Dallas is a trip. But yeah, it was good.
So one of the things, and this is just my progressive libtard ass speaking, Rogue. One of the things that I've never understood why government didn't make this easy was a lot of the cities are so overcrowded that when it comes to infrastructure projects, it's really hard to get them done. Like you're in North Dallas, so you know all about the I-35 fucking headache.
Facts.
635
too, yeah. Well, they just finished that though, so.
Yeah. If I'm trying to get, let's say, because it's a big thing across a lot of the world, like fiber optic, right?
Right.
You know, there's a big push. We want faster internet, all this. Let's try to get fiber optic. Wouldn't it make sense to start in the rural communities? It's already more open, easier for construction to already start, right? You can get the nodes and the infrastructure out there easily, not a data center, right? And then now now instead of trying to work in with a whole bunch of with a lot of density and traffic, you're working out going in instead of in out.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, that sounds effective. The thing is, would the rural area have a desire to be connected to such a degree,
Yeah,
or you know what I mean,
yeah.
or would the rural sector find it adequate with receiving what they could receive from a source from within the more dense population, you know, what I'm saying, within the inner city? Now,
Bro,
I
yeah.
understand that when it comes to, you know what I'm saying, laying out the groundwork and when it comes to the work, like it's better to have space, right? It's always better to have space and to have space to work, right? But the thing is I don't know. I think we project. I think we project what the value or what the worth setting is, or the value or the valuing style is for certain sectors of, you know what I'm saying, of society. I think we we project that we all share that, and I don't think that we do. Look, people in the in the rural areas, you know what you see when you go out there on everybody's rural area fucking property? No
What, a Trump
trespassing.
flag and yeah, no
No
trespassing, all that other
trespass.
shit.
No
Yeah,
trespass.
but
They
I
they don't let their neighbors like trespass. You know what I'm saying, on them or whatever. Right?
I agree, Rogue, but them people still want uh high speed access to internet and they roads paid properly.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? They still pay taxes too, like the rest of us. And it also comes with work. For me, it comes with, unfortunately, our government likes to overthink things too much, even though they don't have a right to try to overthink shit.
Yeah.
It's just working smarter, and then it also builds some sort of repertoire and builds community. Hey, we're gonna start in this area. It's already easy. We get these construction jobs and work our way inward. Especially because, again, the cities already get most of the development projects anyway.
That's a good point. That's a really good
You,
point.
you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, like obviously we know why, more people, more taxes. So obviously that's going to be, but still, the rural people pay taxes too, and they're just as important. And so
Right.
when, again, this is just my limited experience, Rogue, but like I served with a lot of them good old boys in the military that come from them areas. And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times, bro, they just feel like, again, all the investments and everything, like, damn, what about us? Like our roads is just being to shit. Our rural hospitals are closing down left and right. Now, I'm going to argue, I'm going to be like, oh, you guys kind of voted for that. But still, over the decades, that's what they're seeing when they live there. They're like, yo, all of our shit is declining and nobody gives a fuck.
Okay, but the
Right.
thing
And
is,
it's like, well,
but hold up.
yeah,
It's almost like they think they ain't supposed to be on the menu either, though. And you got, you know what I'm saying,
yeah.
some sectors within society where they're consistently upon said menu. And if it's their time, it's their time. The thing is, again, it's the appetite that the system was given earlier. So you're not. I don't think you're changing that. I don't think you're changing it. I see it as a gangrene type of situation, not something that you could apply either, you know, some form of a solution to. And when I say solution, you know what I'm saying, let's say, you know, liquid base, if you will. You know what I'm saying? We're talking
Yeah.
anthropomorphized, if you will. You know, that tussin, you know what I mean? I don't, I just don't view this as that. And, you know what I'm saying, maybe I've been completely jaded or injaded over the years, you know what I'm saying, robbed of any hope, you know, hope, change, hope. I don't know. When Obama came out running on hope and change, man, that destroyed a lot of shit for me because I was like, man, ain't no way this motherfucker running on hope and change with a name, with an African ass name claiming to be from motherfucking Hawaii or some shit and Chicago. You know what I'm saying?
See, bro, I'm an Obama fan, bro.
You can be a you can be a fan, but look, this
I love
motherfucker
him,
was a nigga mud, okay? You know what I'm saying?
bro.
He just came out of nowhere.
Yo, my man came in and inherited 2 different wars. First year in office, pandemic, H1N1 flu. People forget about that joint.
I remember that.
Still found a way to get to recover us out of that nasty recession. The Iran nuclear deal had all the respect of our allies, even our enemies was fucking praising us for that deal. Like there's a lot of things. Again, I've mentioned like Obama and the drones or Obama and Libya. Like, I'm balanced, bro. I could say negative things about my party and the people that represent. But for me, bro, like Obama 09, I'm in the military. That's my first time I ever get to vote too, and I'm deployed, Rogue. Obama meant a lot to me, and he really inspired me to try to be as good as I can. So that's just me, though. You get what I mean? I get why people felt that way with Trump.
The symbolism, why did people feel that way with Trump? The issue is that they didn't. They had to make themselves feel that way with Trump, like a motherfucking bad song on the radio that you never make yourself like. People wasn't.
There's a lot,
Trump.
Rogue. There's a lot of them dudes. Like
them motherfuckers
really saw themselves in Trump,
until
bro.
they called him racist. Grab women by the pussy. You know what I'm saying? And he said something against, I don't know, colored people or some shit like that. Then he's in there.
Yeah.
They had to make this motherfucker likable until the average Joe schmuck, you know what I'm saying, rule cat.
Rogue. Our American people, though, mostly knew Trump from reality TV.
No, they knew Trump from the 1980s or when they worshiped this motherfucker in America in the 1980s.
Yeah, bro, again, the real estate mogul, the casino, the real estate thing, the casinos,
that was worship.
The marketing aspect of Trump, that's what everybody
that was worship.
That's what everybody fell in love with during the campaign.
Yeah. And that was worship. They worshiped this motherfucker. And then the fact that, okay, he could potentially be the president, it's like, it only makes sense to me. I always thought the motherfucker was supposed to be the president in the 80s. I figured, you know what? He must be their king of greed. Because every time this motherfucker come up, they showcasing his name. They showcasing they showcasing his business acumen and all the rest of this shit. And now, hold up. 40 years later, everybody hate this motherfucker. It's like, wait a minute, y'all worshiped and loved this motherfucker 40 years before. Now y'all hate him. What y'all hate him for now? Motherfuckers, everybody.
Well, I mean, just because you like somebody as a private citizen doesn't mean you like them to be your elected leader. Those aren't relatable whatsoever.
Okay, but what?
Hold on. That doesn't track, bro.
What do you mean they don't track? It does track because white people was losing faith in the murder Klan.
So you can't change your opinion about somebody.
Just like black people was losing faith, and that's why they threw Obama in there. Or colored people was losing faith, and they threw Obama in there. And white people was losing it after Obama. They said, you know what? We need to wash this motherfucking Obama taste out our mouth. So they threw the motherfucking Trump, make America great again, and gave them a ploy.
I disagree with that because Obama actually won his re-election campaign. Like, despite all the crap that was being said about him
again. Once they show that they'll
play
you
don't have to use them again.
Yeah, you don't have to.
No, you don't.
You don't. There's no way that they got the full utility out of Obama with one motherfucking go round. There's no way. There's way too much of him that you could utilize elsewhere within the world to spend social equity, celebrity, you know what I'm saying, the fact that he has, charisma and all that, the fact that he's the first black president, all that shit, right? Man, they could parlay that shit. So you ain't gonna do that in no motherfucking 4 years.
I mean, I guess they could, but at the end of the day, Obama did do a great job with getting us out of recession and handing Trump the greatest economy that he constantly fucking bragged about his first year in office. So apparently everything wasn't that bad, right? And so, but that's what I'm saying. Like to bring it back to the original point, especially with the rural voters, Rogue. These guys are seeing that yo, this dude really, I hate that it took him this long. I really hate that it took him this long to realize that Trump is absolutely shit. But a lot of them are starting to realize that Trump is absolutely shit. Bro, you should see some of these real people's reaction to the report just now about Trump's crypto disclosure.
Yo, how much?
1.6 billion. 1.6
he came up 20 billion. He came up pretty much 20 to 30 billion to the whole time, if you count what his children has also amassed as well. About around 30 billion. You know what I'm saying? Just for that name, for the Trump name.
Oh, and yeah, and
this motherfucker's a tycoon.
That's what's crazy is it's already bad enough the Trump family, but at least you could be like, oh, okay, the Trump family. It's not Trump. No, under his specific disclosure. 1.6 billion. Donald Trump specifically. You get what I mean? It's like, well, fuck.
I have it. I'm the best. I'm the greatest that there is. No, none of you.
And then there was the other disclosure that just dropped today or yesterday, Rogue.
Oh shit.
He had like a $500 million loan from like Charles Schwab or some shit that he took out last year while he was president.
I'm not surprised.
And it's like a revolving credit that you can always keep. It's just like, and of course,
but the thing is, you can't be surprised at him because the thing is, he's always been this kind of cat.
But that's why you don't enable those kind of cats. See, that's my problem with the American people because, Rogue, that's not the system's fault. That's ours as a collective's fault.
Yeah.
We saw this scumbag, what he was up to the first time. And yet, guess what we did?
But if he get in the first time,
he said no more wars.
He gotta say that. They all gotta say no more war. Cause look, you gotta understand something.
That's not what MAGA said. MAGA said he was different, Rogue.
Yeah, okay, but the thing is, they needed a motherfucking savior. And that's who he was to them. Look, they needed these motherfuckers to agree with him. They didn't trust Trump. None of MAGA trusted Trump right off the bat like that. They had to be made to trust Trump. So the whole thing is make America great again. It's like, all right, you could have said something.
They fell in love with his ass the moment he came down the golden escalator. Stop it, bro.
But they were gamed because he's white. They needed to use his whiteness against them, and have these white people to trust in their last bit of white hope for the American dream while they sell this motherfucker from up underneath their feet. The thing is, there are 220 million, if not more, here. They need to be duped more than any other demographic here in order for all of this shifting to take place.
And we are trying to discombobulate their asses. You see, this is, at the end of the day, you got to start somewhere, Rogue. I got to present the evidence that says, and again, they're seeing the evidence all for themselves too. But you see a lot of people come up here and I present to them the evidence that says, hey, this guy is, again, a con man, like we kind of already told you he's a fucking con man. The argument was, well, the Democrats aren't better. Well, guess what? We got non-establishment Democrats trying to do something. Right? And I'm not saying you got to embrace it with open arms, but what I am saying is that it's clear by the people, Rogue, that the people are tired of the establishment. Mm-hmm. They want to see some change, and they're clearly going with a party, or at least the wing of the party, that has some level of success in actually changing. Right? Because this is what you'll also hear MAGA talking about. For the longest, you heard MAGA say Trump was the greatest president because of the things he was talking about and highlighting and things he was trying to do. And now you hear MAGA more and more sick of that because they're sick of him trying to do something or just yapping about it on Truth Social. Doesn't actually get a lot of things done. He half-asses a lot of things. and it just blatantly, and now they're seeing the market manipulation with the whole Iran peace deal nonsense.
But the thing is, his position is to be that chaotic factor. So whether they like it or not, Congress is also banking off of this. The private sector is also banking off of this. It's not just Trump. This is a move. This is a move. This is this is a move against. It might be hard for y'all to understand this, but it's the truth. This is a move against the America you believe in. America is going to be standing afterwards, but it's not going to be the one that you believed in.
Rogue, real quick. I think everybody's aware too, but I'm going to make it clear. The America I believed in doesn't exist.
Okay.
And so we have to forge a new one. Like I told you this last week, bro. What are we fixing? This current structure as it's designed is, if we fix it, then we're making it more functional to fuck all of us over. See what I mean? It's designed to do that. We're looking at people who actually, again, want to redesign it back to a new normal of what a functioning government is. I'm not saying they're guaranteed to be successful, but they are sending a different fucking message than what the establishment Dems that I'm used to voting for have been saying. And I gotta go with that, bro, because to go with the status quo is to knowingly vote for the end of the country.
Facts.
And empires rise and fall all the time. But what people don't understand, Rogue, is that, empire could fall, but it could also rise again from the ashes, a new kind of empire in the same location, the same people.
So you say the how did you describe them? You said the currently established Democrat, or what was the word that you? How did you?
Yeah, the ones I don't like the establishment Democrats.
The establishment Democrat, and you would consider yourself a what? You're a Democrat, but not an establishment Democrat.
I'm definitely, so I am a Democratic voter. I do vote Democrat because they just align with me. But I definitely think I'm probably more strongly progressive. I wouldn't say I'm a leftist per se, but I'm definitely close to it, bro. I'm definitely like European left.
Okay, but the thing is, all right, so how is leftist not establishment as well? I mean, maybe not as much in frequency as establishment Democrats, but but what a leftist is out for more agency within the participation, or
so
how does that work?
One of the big things that the biggest difference is, again, the Israel support or the anti-Israel support. Oh shit, my bad, scam. God damn. One of the big things is the support for Israel or non-support of Israel, specifically dealing with Gaza. The other thing is, again, a lot of the corporate PAC, a lot of the PAC money. There are, just like we complain about Republicans and the dark money, the establishment Democrats, like the Nancy Pelosi's of the world, also taking a shit ton of money. And them motherfuckers need to go too. You get what I mean? So just like we would call like the Mitch McConnells, they consider them like the right wingers, they like using the term rhinos, I think, to call their establishment Republicans or to identify their establishment Republicans. I'm not going to call ours dinos because that's a cool ass nickname and they don't deserve that shit. You know what I mean? They don't deserve no cool shit like that. Yeah. So I don't like the ones that are still, again, they're bought off by our healthcare and our insurance companies and the lobbyist groups and all that. No, I like the ones that are grassroots and they're campaigning on not taking corporate PAC money. Again, it's not the be all end all, Rogue, but it's a start.
It's a start.
Yeah. Before I get to Rogue, I didn't even ask you, Rogue, how was your week?
Oh, it's all right. You know what I'm saying? It's all right. Doing good work at the clinic, and a lot of patients is making some pretty decent progress, and I feel like I'm a better human for helping them. You feel me?
I feel it. Scam, how you doing, man?
All is well. What's going on?
Good, man. How was your week?
I ain't touched my mic out. See if it's working.
Right, we get you.
Yeah. Okay.
How
All
was
is
your week?
all is well. Taru's question,
Yeah.
though I'm late to the party. Do you ever look at candidates, city, state, local, um, federal, national, president, senate, and have a belief that this person put a suit on, ironed their clothes to go and do something for you, your family, or to the people? Is that something that you believe?
I think some of them.
Rogue, how about you?
My apologies. I was giving you the flow, fam. Repeat your question, brother.
Do you believe that politicians, city, state, local, federal, senate, house, any judges, take the time, iron their suit, get up and say, I'm here and I'm going to do something. I'm going to do something for you.
I do not.
The red ones, the
I've
blue
tried.
ones,
I've
the
tried.
clear, the independent, purple, any of them. Do you believe
Independent.
that some do, some don't?
I would say the independent. Most of those who I've observed of the independent, they they tend to take to have they tend to have an air of respectability about them and integrity. And when they speak on the factors that they're there to represent, you do get an objectivity from them. You receive that from them. And that's what you're supposed to receive from either of the other two parties, even though they are for, you know what I'm saying, a main constituency, if you will.
No, that's my only question for now.
What?
No, that's my only question because I see people get so wrapped up in this one versus that one, this one versus that one. It's like a
Bro,
point is a point, and one has a small thing they may do, but these people do not represent. I am here to do what's best for you. I just don't believe it. And this is a repeated thing. Some people claim Democrat, claim this, and I claim, and how come you're not one of us? And holding it and wearing like it's not for you.
no.
It's not.
I mean, but I think what it
Yeah.
is, I think what it,
Oh,
I think what it is, scam. You see people setting up um, like alignments as opposed to utility, because what I'm saying, politics is supposed to be for utility for the ultimately utility of the people. If and that's what I see. I see people aligning themselves with parties and giving a certain kind of loyalty there, as opposed to a citizen's utility of, said party that are available for you. People bang their parties like gangs.
But that
and,
party
and
is
and
not
that's exactly what shouldn't be happening. You know what I mean?
okay. Y'all get what I'm saying? They're banging a
Yeah.
party, and that party is not for you, your family. No matter who, we could show you 58 policies that are actually against the very thing that you may be signing up for. And on the other side, it might be 47. But when you bang one side, you still took 47 or 58 L's and signed up for them. So it's not like it's 100-0 over here. They're problems, and they're going to affect you as you're signing it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I just don't get
And
why banging or representing parties as if they represent the people.
yeah, so for those people and scam, I think you've heard both of us probably imply like, the fanatics or motherfuckers walking around with the gear on it. Like, stop it.
Yeah, that's not. It
If,
doesn't
if you're
represent.
if you're turning this into a team sport, we've already lost the plot. Which, as y'all know, we've lost the plot quite some time ago. Um, that being said, one of the ways, scam, to do that properly is to vote for public servants, not celebrities. Right? So if I'm voting for somebody who is talking about boring ass government paperwork shit, that's the kind of person that is more likely going to pass policies that positively affect the majority. Whereas if I'm passing policies under the guise of pro-growth, pro-business, and it tends to kind of only enforce the current monopolies that we're seeing today. You get what I mean? At some point, because scam, if you take both politicians, we all know we can't trust them, or we shouldn't. But until one of them gets in the job, we have to rank them by something. You know what I mean?
That's a problem, but yeah, I'll put it this way. I was arguing with a super blue person. They were talking about how qualified Kamala Harris was. She's her degrees and she did this and experience, and it's like, look,
yeah,
she couldn't win. You talk about the celebrity part. It doesn't matter if you can't win the votes. If you can't win the votes, you're not a qualified candidate, because you're going to lose, and it doesn't matter what policies and all this stuff that you can do, because you're never going to get to do it.
Yeah,
get a candidate that can first win. Yeah, first thing you got to do is win. Then you start doing what it is you say you're doing, which I don't believe they're going to do anyway.
But we've been see now you came in late, Scam, because that's what we've been talking about. But that's what we've been talking about the entire time, Scam. I know that's why you mentioned you came in late, because that's what I was mentioning with the establishment Dems and their shit, because they've seen the Mamdanis of the world actually come in and practice what they preach. Even if they don't like the policy that he's passing, the things he campaigned on is the things he's accomplishing.
Wait.
And then so you're seeing the other way.
Is he an archetype yet? You said the Mamdanis, as if he's already an archetype. Is he an archetype yet?
Okay. If it's 2028 and you're pushing Mamdani, he has to get a running mate.
No, I can't put Mamdani can't run for president.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No,
I'm talking about again. We've seen the Mamdanis in New York, who are democratic socialists, actually do what they say they were going to do. And now you're seeing, Scam, like in New York and now in Colorado, a lot of the incumbent Democrats, some of the established Democrats have lost their primaries to those Mamdani-like types, because people are tired of lesser of two evils, right? And so that's what I'm saying is we're getting candidates now who are at least talking about the basic fundamental of their job as government employees. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. And so it's like, again, we already know the proof's in the pudding, bro. Once you get the job, you actually got to perform. We all know you're going to be in the tank for someone, but did you pass enough policies where people are like, okay. Right? Like Scam, you've been alive long enough to know what, at least if the government's functioning at a certain time, people will be like, okay. But the moment shit's going south and then the government's not functioning right, everybody's all up in their shit. I would like a country, Scam, where we always keep our foot up government's ass. But I know we don't live in a country where our population wants to do that. So I got to try to get enough people that want to keep their foot up government's ass. Then I got to get the right kind of people that view themselves as public servants first and not cheerleaders for our corporate slave masters.
Well, when you say foot up that ass, there are some of these countries that did that, and they used more than a foot. And they ain't running the way you may think. I don't know if you're well traveled, you're military. Be careful what you ask for.
So I'm not talking about scams. Respectfully, I know exactly what you're talking about, and I am not implying that. What I mean, when I'm saying foot up ass, I mean paying attention so that we're not electing crypto bros into the Oval Office. You know what I mean? That's what I mean, foot up ass. Hey, our basic job as a public servant, like I was talking with Rogue earlier, roads and bridges, maintaining, keeping up to date our infrastructure, education system, healthcare, right? Basic role, right? So before we even get to the high standard shit of what our elected officials should be, I'm looking at the people right now, Scam, who are at least talking about the fundamentals.
I think a problem is, I think it was Jay Speed told me this. I think I even said this a few weeks ago. If the military said no, you would see dramatic change. If police in one city said no, you would see change. You would see change, and you would see it in 48 hours or less. When people won't say no, and people are willing to say yes, and I think Rogish talked. No, me and him disagree on 99% of everything. When people are willing to say yes, and even to the point where they buy into the system, and it's fear-based, the answer will always just be yes to whatever and whoever's in power. And unfortunately, it's systematic.
But that means that the people who may believe that they understand.
People are not the power because they don't know the power. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
You say, no, go ahead. Finish. I think you're just finna pick up what I put down. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're probably about to say the same thing.
Yeah.
The people are the power, but if they don't utilize it, they're not the power.
Right.
If it's one person said we're going left and 100 people just following along, the people aren't the power. But if they're saying, hey, bro, no. And if you say something else, we're going to steal off on you. That's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Everybody's going right. Or, hey, man, we want to talk. We want to talk right now. That's a little bit different. We're not showing up. We're not showing up to work. We're not buying this. But the answer being no.
So what has to be the receptivity for that aggregate that lets themselves view it from that metric? You know what I'm saying? Because
good question.
It's just a matter. If it's a matter of a different kind of response, I guess, you know, the parties that go along with it and the parties that don't want to go along with it, they both want the same thing. It's just a matter of method, of selection of whatever you're given. If you're going to accept it, basically, you know what I mean? You know, you're offered, and do you accept? Me personally, I've never found I've always desired more. It's like, all right, you know, whatever the system's willing to give you, it's like, it's not enough. It's not enough because, you know what I'm saying? Because I know you could do more. And so when the system doesn't do more, it's like, where does the faith in the system comes from? When you know that I think was it Georgia? They just passed Don't Hate the Hindu bill somewhere in Georgia, or maybe, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, all right, I thought Hindu was Asians first and foremost, right? And they already passed a bill for that for Asians, whenever they did it. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? The legislation can happen like that, meaning a quality shift for, I guess, a group, an aggregate, a constituency, or whatever. Why not? Why not enact said style of ease of working for those that you say that you represent? The thing is, who are the people to those that they're supposed to be representing? They're supposed to be representing them, if not a constituency. They can't just be a vote, can they?
Unfortunately, you and Teruse can go run. Teruse says, look, man, I hate women, and I'm going to run on that. And you say, I hate men and I hate dogs. And that's the only two options. And if the people are willing to accept it, because at the end of the day, Teruse is offering free air conditioning bills. Americans are very comfortable until they're not. Or that line of comfort, not comfort, it's not really that much. They still have work in AC. They still have 3 and 4 meals, 5, 6 meals, looking how fat they are.
Right.
It's different if you go somewhere else when it's their livelihood or them seeing their family or not. Jay Speed told me this. He said there's nothing you can do when people are fed up enough. When people reach breaking points, they don't care about laws. They don't care about nothing.
But what if that breaking point has been socially conditioned out of them? Like as what you were speaking of earlier, what I like to call the guillotine ethos. I don't think the people are even, you know what I'm saying, of that type of caliber even anymore.
You are correct. Because at the end of the day, I can go home and I can watch cartoons, play PlayStation, eat 3 meals. Or you can take somebody and say, hey man, I'm gonna give you a new car. That 2015, we're gonna upgrade you to a new one. And they'll throw everything away and drive that car and just be happy. Like that line, because people are very comfortable.
Yeah.
I also think, guys, we're dealing with the fundamental fact that we have 350 million people in this country. You can easily break this country up into like 5 different countries, right? That's how culturally different we are, just based on differences that we have just based on geography alone, right? And so it's inherently difficult to get that many people on the same page. And so one of the things, guys, I guess it should have had to be said out loud, but we're not going to get everything we want, right? There is a point where, again, government is supposed to only do so much, right? Because as much as I can talk about fixing the roads and bridges rogue, I still need my individual Americans to not drink and drive, dog. Right. You see what I mean? Like, there's still agency you got to take. As much as I could talk about, like, healthcare and everything, healthcare and all that, I still need my fellow Americans to make sure they're going and being productive.
Well,
and also making sure the corporations aren't ruining that.
What if part of that erosion is an erosion of understanding their civic standing that they're obligated to, especially if they want to say that they're connected to Constitution and all this shit? It's like, all right, what does it mean to be a citizen?
And that goes into our education that we was talking about already, Rogue, and we talked about last week. Our country, we as Americans don't learn the same things about the country we share. We have so many different ideas of what this country is and isn't. And so many people, unfortunately, Rogue, prove that they don't understand how this country works. They don't understand the 3 branches of government and how they're supposed to be co-equal branches and checks on one another. They don't understand the Congress, the difference between the House and the Senate. They don't understand a lot of the committees or the subcommittees we have, right? And that's because we're not learning the same things. That's one of the issues that our elected or that people that are trying to be public servants need to be bringing up, right? A homogenous nation
and living the dream. Powering what government does in all actuality is power the American experience. But what the people do is try to live the American.
What do you mean by power the American experience? What do you mean?
Because maybe that's why the people don't pay attention. It's because they're too caught up in the dream. And in the dream, no different than any foreigner that wishes to come to America, it's a lifestyle that they've, you know what I'm saying, that they are willing to buy into or believe into, if you will. And in that erodes one's objective civic standing that they're supposed to have because they're too busy partaking of all of the convenience, getting drunk on consumerism as easily as you can do here. And as all those, you know what I'm saying, foreign folks here who attending the FIFA gatherings and everything, you seen that it look like these motherfuckers have been to church when they see the consumerism that Americans are afforded over here, right? They're living it up. This is clearly the land of milk and honey, but it's attested to more of that grand American dream and all this, and it's like, well, is it just consumerism? All right, then can the people let themselves be consumers and citizens at the same place, simultaneously?
So this goes back to what I was talking about with the education and how our government and our system works, Rogue. Because you still have millions of Americans pretending like socialism hasn't been embedded in our country since forever.
It's
We've
fake
always like our economy, especially, has always been a mixed economy. We've always had aspects of both capitalism and socialism. There's always been intertwined with each other. Go ahead, Scam.
I was going to say a socialistic capitalism. Capitalism dominates. When someone's uncomfortable, they run to socialism. Or they program people to believe there's a socialism that doesn't exist and it's under capitalism. It's multiple things going on at the same time.
Yeah, and there's a little bit of fascism here as well.
Foreigners, well, I won't say all, not all. I got to say that on YouTube. But a lot of foreigners, remember the ones that are coming here, like the right way? Those are the top 5 and 10% in another country. They're whooping ass in the other country. So they're not coming here to play no games, sit there and play PlayStation with you.
But no,
so, yeah,
they do be coming here scamming as well too. Shit, you know what I'm saying?
Well, there's some of those.
They figured that they could get over on the system because they're like, yo, it really ain't paying attention to us as it should.
You have those two. but foundationally, if you see how things are set up in their country, which you consider a scam, they consider Tuesday.
God damn, real talk. I mean,
what y'all are yelling about is a scam. This is Tuesday today. But especially top 10% coming from other countries. But no, they see opportunity and they're not coming to play games.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I think I forgot my other point. Oh, socialistic capitalism is part of a system, and the history that we're supposed to learn, they can teach you in pieces. But what does it matter if it's this history, this is how the government works? If you're addicted to PORN, PlayStation, or whatever, or you're just only stuck on being average and doing some of this here, if you're just going to spin your circles looking at celebrities all night, meaning if you're not strong enough to participate or do something even for yourself, they know most people are going to be average, work, eat a sandwich, park their car, and go to sleep. So it doesn't matter necessarily what all they're teaching. Everything operates under the system. When they complain, it's socialism, but they know they can buy them off with one tax break, $20 or a new car, and they'll shut up and leave and be left alone. If they told people, if your kids don't graduate, you're going to die, you'll see a change in education tonight. Graduate, or your kids are getting shipped off and you can only talk to them once a year. There will be a change in education tomorrow.
Look, that might be a little.
If they said no more health care, if you show up to the hospital and you don't pay in cash, you're on your own. There will be a change in health care. There'll be a change in diet. But because you can keep doing something, keep on, and still be okay until you're not okay, or you're so weak that when you're not okay, you don't do anything and don't have the fight in you, then it's,
Yeah.
Anton. I won't sit here and say that I'm Malcolm X or whoever. I'm not. I ain't gonna lie to you. But I'm at least aware. And there are things, certain things I do.
Yeah, none of us are.
I can't save y'all.
Yeah. Scam, none of us are. You know what I mean? Let's go, bro. Anton, how was your week, bro?
It was pretty good. It was all right. It was pretty good. Can't complain. That's about it.
What you got for us, bro?
I saw the title and everything else. It's time to get with the program.
Yep.
Plain and simple. It's time to get with the program. Because the old ways, trying to have everyone sit under the same umbrella saying kumbaya. The problem with the Democrats, and I've always said this, and you've heard me say this, Tarus, they don't have backbone.
Agreed. Yep. Agreed.
They don't have backbone. And if they do have backbone, they have backbone for things that make no sense at all whatsoever.
Oh, they don't.
Plain and simple. Sometimes you got to respect the Republicans' game, but the issue I have with Republicans is they're hypocritical. That's my problem with both parties. Dems don't know how to take a stand. They don't know how to stand on business. They're too busy bouncing around from one topic or one subject to another. Republicans love to hide behind the Bible, act like they're holding it down, and do the polar opposite. I'm not looking for someone to be perfect. I'm looking for someone that can find a way to be as close to perfection as possible, as if you're willing to put in the work and the time to try to make things better. But the problem with both parties is they don't know how to take a stand, and they don't know how to care about people that don't look like them.
They don't care about people who look like them either, to be honest.
Okay, I get what you're saying there, Scam. I'll rephrase it. They don't care about people that's not in their tax bracket.
They don't care about them either, to be honest.
But it feels like some of them always benefited more than us, but I see what you're saying there too.
Before you guys continue, I want all of us to be on the same page as well as our audience. Okay. The US economy is a mixed system that combines capitalism and socialism. This means it balances free market principles where individuals and businesses can use capital as they choose with government involvement to support public welfare. While most industries operate privately, sectors such as education, healthcare, and public infrastructure are influenced or managed by the government to ensure accessibility and fairness. This allows for economic freedom while promoting social stability, making the U.S. economy dynamic and resilient. Its size and influences help shape global markets and economic trends around the world. And so our system has been like that basically from the jump. What too many people have been convinced of is basically letting capitalism in this country off the leash. Like we keep getting these aspects of we need more deregulation. We need to deregulate. We need to lower taxes. Guys, one of the best and only ways a business should get subsidies was the old, oh, you're going to build a factory here. Okay, we'll give you a tax break, right? Yeah. You're providing a bunch of jobs.
Right.
We completely got away from that, and we just started handing out tax cuts to everybody, to every business, regardless.
What was the gain?
Right, and so they didn't have to do shit for it.
What ultimately was the gain? Just the fact that, the validity was that all they had to do was be big business, and you're going to assist us in having an adequate, healthy labor pool. Okay, now, in this day and age, we got to add on a couple of caveats, a couple of variables. Artificial intelligence is one of those. Hyper automation is one of those. The social conditioning phenomenon of social media is one of those. None of that was taken into consideration with the creation of a government in the past. None of that. They couldn't even. They couldn't even fathom that. So
but there's always new technology, like Rogue. That's irrelevant argument because
that shit
government. Hold up, because government. Guess what? Nobody had no government. No government
back in the other governments.
Rogue. No government had any idea how to deal with the automobile industry coming up when it first did. No government had any idea how to deal with the typewriters or the fucking computers when they first dropped.
But they're still involved. Rogue has another point.
There's always going to be an industry, some sort of invention or something that we have to manage.
The industries now omit the people. The industries back then mitigated the population to a degree. Now what is created omits the people. And you still have the market structure with the desire and the appetite and the intention that it has. It's a fuck you, pay me type of situation. I don't know how the people are going to change that, because that's never been the healthier, I guess, intention to have, or what's the word? Trajectory. That's never been a healthier trajectory to place one's market into, because the market is supposed to be composed of that which is essential for the people, for the sake of the people. This market does not operate for the sake of the people. It doesn't.
Yes. And that's why it needs to be changed. That's why I'm up here making the argument and saying why there's new blood coming in, because our system was the best because we had that balance, Rogue. We became stupidly imbalanced. We went complete Reaganomics, trickle-down economics, supply-side Jesus, and it's been a shit show ever since. We have been in a massive amount of federal debt and deficit ever since. Rugged individualism, you could really trace that, our downfall, the decline, to that time period of rugged individualism and trickle-down economics. But that's what I've been telling you, Rogue, because I can see a time where the transition happened. It lets me know that the transition to a new normal, a new healthy normal, is also possible. You can't nobody tell me something could change and then you can't change it again. Or you could definitely change it. Not saying it's going to be just as good as it was, but we could definitely change it from the shit it is now.
But the thing is, do you see the current losses as something that you can restore, or do you see some of the current losses as essential factors that were supposed to have maintained a desired and specific integrity the entirety of the time? You can't get it back. We've lost some shit that you can't get back.
That's what I said, bro. That's what a new normal means. We're not going to get to the original normal, bro. Yeah. A new normal means we're now dealing with a new post whatever the fuck we was dealing with. Yeah. Right? Like we're dealing with the new normal of COVID in our society, that what it looks like post-COVID, right? That's the new normal. We know we're not ever getting back to 2019 America or 2019 society.
All right.
So let's mitigate what we're dealing with in the future.
The problem is people don't want to adapt to the situation. Either they don't want to or they're refusing to adapt.
And that's a problem.
The system created unadaptable people. The system has been doing that for a long time.
Damn.
For example, I hate to say it, going off topic, but I use it as an analogy.
Okay.
The relationship space. One place over here, men are perfect, something wrong with everybody else.
Yeah.
The women, the dog, these other people, and somehow you're just perfect. Go 2 blocks to the left, there's some other group of people, something wrong with all the men, and somehow you perfect, and something wrong with everybody else. So let's band together and keep saying the same 6 things, and 7 of them are wrong.
For 15
never
years.
even made sense to begin with. And just keep cycling through that. And these people have children. And the children will look at them like, man, I don't know what's right, but this is wrong. I don't know, man. I'm in DR. Something I do. And this place ain't saying no better. It's just different problems. Dominican problems instead of American. But I see something like I noticed that I haven't been seeing the last 3-4 years. Do y'all see pregnant women or little kids often? In America, don't see them. Here, there's kids all over the place. Teeth looking at 2 tooth to 8 full teeth, looking up, reaching, playing. They exist. Like, it's just different. But social media, when Rogers was putting it in as a factor, now social media also has its positive. I won't say it's all negative.
Right.
Because you can introduce certain forms of socialism in social media, being honest. You can share information and knowledge. However,
we're all chopping it up right now, right, guys?
Yeah.
Right. So I'm saying it's not all negative. However, social media can play to people's self-esteem, having them dreaming or living in social media or thinking there's a pie in the sky. that doesn't even exist. And a lot of people are falling victim and falling trap and just marinating. It's making the people weaker and damaging critical thinking. Algorithms damage brain cells. I don't like when I'm looking to buy a product or something, or looking for, or hey, what happened with this? And I want to see it's a scam, and I want to see it's the best thing, because I want to know both sides. But the algorithm only keeps pushing one side. And it's almost like we're giving you what you asked for.
Yep.
And to people who can't critically think or see a whole 360, they just see them 90 degrees and they stay right between here and right here. Like the same thing in politics. So it's not how can we, what do we do about it? What can I do to better myself? How can I thrive under a shady president, a crooked president, or ugly president? Because the same people are thriving no matter who's in office. It's usually the same ones, plus or minus 5 to 10%. But
we got to remember, we have to take into account, scam, and this is what my fellow Americans need to take into account. When you're dealing with so much dysfunction, this shit bleeds into our social life. And so
yes,
I be trying to explain to a lot of these guys, scam, you hear me all the time, bro. For these dudes and these women all the time, gender war, bro, this shit isn't going to get any better, because there's not a country where relationships are good where everybody's too broke to do anything. Okay?
Say it again.
What do you mean? Say it again.
When people are in economic dire straits and are too broke to do anything, you're going to have a hard time being in relationships, right? Like right now, a lot of people, you see this in South Korea, we talked about this last week, you see it in South Korea and Japan, and you're seeing it here in the United States. One of the primary factors for not seeing a lot of pregnant women, scam, is this costs too fucking much.
I disagree.
The average woman in America has to pay between $10,000 to $15,000 to deliver a child. Scam.
I disagree.
That's with healthcare.
Because they ain't got no money, but they got their kids and they got their families. Now, I ain't saying it's perfect, but there's more kids here and ain't no money.
Wait, we're at the level where that's supposed to be free in the United States.
Yeah.
That's not supposed to cost.
Exactly.
That's not supposed to cost anything.
Life ain't supposed to cost. Death ain't supposed to cost. Now, maintenance is definitely supposed to cost. Okay?
Right.
Yeah.
Life and death, if you really are, everybody here say they believe in a God or whatever. If you really believe in that, then how the hell you going to put a cost of life?
Scam. Both my daughters were born on the German economy, not on the military base. And you know how much the German economy charged for my wife's pregnancy?
No, that's
zero.
No, what I was saying, my pushback was that I don't tie money to relationships like they do.
No, scam. What I'm saying is, in any country, if your shit is so dysfunctional that people are too broke to even go outside, then a lot of relationships are also going to take a hit from that too. A lot of people, bro, like you hear the young people, they talking about, what, it's like $8-10 for a drink at the club now?
Tarus, people make more money now than they were making.
Scam. No, that's not true. The purchasing power of the U.S. of the dollar has dropped. Scam.
No, the thing is this.
And then on top of that, what it costs to make medium to feel comfortable in America has gone up. Worker productivity scam. Worker productivity since 1980 has gone up 64% in America. Wages in that same time frame has gone up 16%.
No, I just can't say people in America aren't having kids because they're too broke.
No.
I said that's one of the reasons. You keep listening. You keep acting like I'm saying that's the only reason. I'm saying that's one of the reasons.
If you have a conversation with these youth, they'll let you know.
Now, a belief of it, yes.
Hear me out. If you have a conversation with these youth here in the United States, they'll let you know I'm not having kids. The bulk of them, they'll outright say it. I ain't having kids.
That's true. But
That's
go
true.
ahead.
Now look. This is from 30 on down.
Yep.
I'm
What's your-
47. I'm almost 50. This is from 30 on down. They saying I ain't having no kid in the way that
Exactly.
they look appalled that you would ask them.
Yeah,
I got a
you
niece.
Scam. Go. I talk
I'm
before
just
you
saying-
go. Like
Go ahead.
scam. I need you to give yourself a software update, bro. The women today, the young generations, and the men also today, they're looking at everything going on, and one of the primary factors is it costs too fucking much to breathe in this country.
Facts.
Never mind try to take care of somebody else that needs to breathe. Go
Hey,
ahead,
Taruk.
Anton.
No, Taruk.
Now the thing is,
Go
like,
ahead.
for
Then
example,
let me reply though. But go ahead.
Just enough.
like, here's the thing. Like, I got one niece in college that's 23. I got two daughters, 23 and 22.
Respect.
They be telling me like what's going on, what's some of the nonsense that's going on.
Yeah.
Now, but I got two other nieces that are 19. I got a couple of nephews in their 20s too. But the ones I just mentioned, they give me a heads up of what's going on. Now, my two daughters do have kids. Okay, that's besides the point. They tell me that they got peers who are like refusing to have kids. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I'm hearing stories how some young girls in their 20s and 30s want to get their tubes tied and they never had kids. I'm hearing stories of guys under 30 wanting to have a vasectomy.
Yeah.
Like, they're avoiding procreation
Yes.
like it's the plague.
Preach.
No, I'm not disagreeing that they're not having
This
kids.
is a
But I'm
social
saying
decay. This is a
I'm saying
an
even-
outright social decay.
even I said social programming, what they're seeing as far as relationships, what they're growing up in, and then what's being programmed into them, doesn't suggest them going out and having kids. Just like there's youngsters saying we don't want to get married because of money. Not even understanding when you get married, it's two people you can put your money together and save some money.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm not saying y'all are wrong. I'm saying it's not that it really costs too much and they're really doing the math. Because if you look at how they're spending their money now or what they're doing, that costs too much.
Okay, but the thing is, they're living the same motherfucking dream at the level that they try to follow the Murder Clan dream. That's how they try to follow that.
Fake American dream.
No,
Right,
you know what I'm
okay,
saying?
I'm agreeing
No,
with that.
No, hold up.
You-
No
I'm
just saying
different
that
from
it's
any
programming.
foreign person who comes here who's trying to get the best out of the American dream. You know what I mean? It's all the same illusion. But the thing is, the system can no longer sustain that. And it needs people to continue believing it just a little bit longer for a particular reason. The thing
Okay,
is, the
that-
people are
that is
supposed to be reconstructing, if you will, in the same way as how Facebook did the whole metaverse thing, and it put its own digital map upon the world and had people actually purchasing real estate or digitized real estate.
Yeah, like digital, something like that.
Yeah, so the whole thing is that, nigga, you looking at motherfucking belief. Where we are now as humans, you should see digitized engagement is the same as the belief that it was that constructed the substrate of the consciousness of existence. That's where you should be looking at this shit.
You're understanding what I'm saying, that it's part of the
and
program.
creating at that level. The thing is, the people don't understand that they're the way that they partake within their consumerism, it actually guides their appetite. And their appetite is something that is instinctual to being an earthling, period. They let the model of USian social herd style or whatever the fuck, turning people into personnel, hence your matrix, guide their appetite. And everything has appetite. But if it turns your appetite into a mere fucking consumer, or you're just a consumerism, then that means you're beholden to the companies that supply your fucking feed.
It really did.
I agree with that. And that actually is part of what, don't get married. And I'm single, I'm not married. So
Quit, y'all niggas
Make
quit
me
hating
feel-
on motherfucking marriage because a marriage
No, I'm not
will
hating
help
on-
you
no,
to
I'm
get
for
to
it.
a level that you
No, I'm
will not
pro-marriage.
get on your own. So
No,
stop
I'm pro-
that shit.
No, I'm
What the
pro-marriage.
fuck?
No,
All right,
I'm
then. Yeah, I'm tired of hearing motherfucking not pro-marriage. Nigga, you better get your wife, get your 4 wives.
Yeah.
oh
What
no,
the
I'll
fuck?
eat that one. Oh, go ahead, Terus.
And to get it back on track, guys, again, we should not be discussing relationships and how government is affecting it. That's a shit show. The barrier, the line between government, labor market, our social life has been thoroughly fucking erased. Okay?
So
We
is it
should,
government?
right, like,
Can we still call this shit government then?
yeah. Because guess what, Rogue? There's a bunch of different kinds of governments, right? There
What
could be
is this
some
one?
really good ones and some really shit ones.
I don't give a
And
fuck if
everything
it's
in
bad.
between.
I just want to be clear of understanding what it is. What is it?
Bro,
It's a chameleon.
Rogue,
It's a
you are-
motherfucking.
Rogue.
It's a
no,
chimera.
Rogue, you called it last week accurately. We agreed with you. This is an LLC.
It's a
You remember calling it that? This is an LLC. That's what we live in.
Hey, okay, and you know what? You
I'm
can't call a
trying to get
company
us back
into
to
no
being
type
a
of
service.
accountability. Then, so then it comes down to how do people believe in not only their government, but how do they believe into what it is that they believe their citizenry to be within the society of that that governed state. What the fuck?
I think it's more of an LLC.
Yeah.
The only thing is the customers can stand up more and make sure the customers and employees can take more of a stand, but it's still going to be an LLC.
That's
Okay,
heavy.
but the thing is, if it's a company, then
It's gonna be capitalist.
The accountability that the people currently call for is actually null and void because it's
Yes.
not obligated. It's not obligated to the people. It's obligated to customers.
Even
Well,
the
here's
customers,
what's-
they don't have to take care of
here's
the
what-
customers either.
Rogue, here's what's crazy, and we need to preface this again, Rogue, like we did like a couple hours ago. Economically speaking, of
Yes.
the 50s and 60s,
Yes.
right? You can argue that a lot of the structure that's today is still was back then, except again, like we really had the same kind of tax system. It was just higher. Or
Okay.
back then, corporations were actually obligated to pay into Social Security and them kind of things. You get what I mean? You wasn't getting tax breaks unless you actually, right, was building a factory and said you deserved it. You wasn't getting a tax break just out of the, right? We don't expect corporations to give you a tax break or to give people a discount out the goodness of their heart. Government should not be giving corporations a tax break out the goodness of their heart. No,
Go ahead.
there needs to be again.
Okay, so
This
that
for
means that means there need to be an obligation of them providing something other than a consumer product.
Typically, Rogue, a lot of the corporations in mixed economies, and this used to be, corporations actually used to take this upon themselves to do it here in America. But in like, when you see, even in like some of the developing countries, yeah, the corporations had an obligation to do developments in their local communities as well. You know what I mean? They was responsible for maintaining the infrastructure, at least in their general community. They wasn't this bad, but here's a perfect example of a corporation that's obligated to basically provide service. Universal Studios and Disney in that Orlando, Florida area.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They got police, they got schools, they got police departments, fire departments, all those different services, and it's mandatory. Oh, you're gonna have this much profit, this much say so. Guess what you gotta provide? And guess what, Rogue? Those services aren't just for the amusement park. Those are for the entire local community. They gotta answer to all those calls.
Yep.
Right?
Now
Hey,
you're talking.
Yeah. Now, my guy Match brought up a good point. They're broke, but they're not broke because of that. They're broke because they've been making dumbass like movie studio decisions and shit like that.
Yeah.
Right. But the studio systems themselves, Rogue, for decades, they've had to provide those sort of things. Because think about it, Rogue. Could you imagine where Disney World, Universal Studios is? Could you imagine what those local communities would look like if they weren't required to provide those services?
Yeah, I mean, well,
Florida, remember, Florida has no state income tax.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, Tarus, the very thing you're talking about, three of my grandparents retired from GM, Michigan.
Yeah.
Pontiac, Detroit, Flint, all that area. We make cars. Not only that, we pay for health insurance. We take care of our people. One thing that should happen, let's just say there were a new GM. There's just Cars Inc. that pops up in Bloomington, Indiana, or Cleveland, Ohio. Pops up.
Yeah.
First thing is, okay, you want to come to Cleveland? First, Cleveland says, look, tax breaks. But then Cleveland says, hey, our people, our college graduates, we want first dibs. You're going to come to Cleveland, we're going to take care of Cleveland. We're going to clean up this. Just like you said, they had their own fire or whatever, meaning there's an equity in the people and people buying into the company instead of it just being straight capitalistic.
Right.
To where you got people sneaking into the country, going direct and hired, working jobs that they can't spell on some buddy stuff for $8 an hour. And you got people broke, knocking each other's heads off that got degrees in the same city. But it should be, let's take Tesla when they came to Austin. I don't know what they did. But if there were another company coming to a city, now straight up, the city pays the costs. Look, man, free land, free this, free that, free. But hey, take care of our people. We're going to buy into it. Then on the real estate side, people who work for your company, tell you what, discounted property tax, because you want your people to stay into the city. This school system, start connecting everything and building it to where the people come, they work, and they stay. Then what car are they going to drive? Now, the car loyalty was a big thing in Michigan. Yeah. It was real. My parents still won't buy anything other than Ford or GM. But it was a real thing. It was to the point, y'all probably heard this. If you parked a foreign car, if you drove a foreign car and you worked at GM or Chrysler, you had to park in a whole nother part. One, it was you can't park in our parking lot. But if you do, go for it. Be lucky if you have tight. You're gonna be walking home because you're messing up our money. Yeah. But that concept, I think, is kind of Tarus what you're trying to pitch: equity, loyalty, and everybody ain't got to make $500 million a year. Somebody always gonna cry and complain it ain't perfect, but some kind of dependability people buy into, and it circles around and everybody benefits.
All I demand is that since we've reached Jetson age, let all of the human essentials be taken care of. That's it. Everything that's extra, charge whatever the fuck you want. You know what I'm saying? It's fucked up if you overcharge, whatever, but all of human essentials now that would have plagued humans in the past that you can obliterate, motherfucking obliterate.
Hey, Rogish, a friend of mine said this to me. He was on vacation, maybe 2018, 2019. Said his problem with capitalism, and he's not starving. We're doing okay. There's some guy in South Carolina who owns the colors green, turquoise, black, and orange. He owns them. His great-great-grandchildren's dogs will never have to work a day in their life. That's how much money they get. 30 miles or 300 miles away, there's a guy, probably of color, black, Hispanic. All they're trying to do, they're in traffic, they're working as hard as they can, and all they want to do is eat a sandwich. And this guy over here is so greedy that he got a problem with the sandwich that the guy is eating. That's his problem with America.
Yeah,
That makes sense. No, that makes perfect sense
that is what the
because
problem is.
no, scam makes sense. What he says is because you got people who have more than enough, and it's still never enough.
Well,
let's put this.
To give us all
the thing is because what is considered riches over here ain't riches. What is considered wealth over here ain't real wealth.
Well, no, it is. It's just here in America, it's not enough, Rogue. You see, it's never enough.
What the fuck is enough?
I'm gonna put it.
He's talking about greed.
America got way more money than some small countries over there in Europe and Asia, and them motherfuckers got all they shit covered for all.
No, he's talking about the concept, the mindset.
If you're addicted to getting money, again, it's never enough.
Get money,
right? So think about it like this, guys. We have wealthy people and even some boomers. God, I love boomers. I really wish people could live out their golden years, but damn, boomers, y'all are pissing me off with the property tax argument. Rogue, we got a bunch of boomers and wealthy people who relied on a bunch of people who went to public school to construct their fucking homes, talking about they don't want to pay property taxes that go to supporting public education. You see how fucking selfish that is?
The boomers got it the worst because the boomers got they got the bullshit of the fake all the world.
No, they're the ones they're the ones wanting that. Like the boomers are the ones wanting that. Like here, like in Florida and here in Ohio.
Everybody want that, but the thing is they're participating more in capitalism in a way that destroys that, as opposed to changing capitalism into something which is a lot more malleable and market fucking respectable unto the global fucking market, unto, you know what I'm saying, the global population.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. The global market has nothing to do with that selfishness of theirs. Okay. Because what I'm saying is there's nothing about the global market or the stock market that tells you, Rogue, you know, I'm old now and I don't want my taxes to go toward the public education system because I don't have kids in the public schools anymore. Right?
Fuck no.
But
yeah, of course.
all the fucking people that all the facilities that you shop at and all these other places, a lot of them went to public schools. A lot of your neighbors went to public schools. A lot of the people that come to your house specifically for home services went to public schools. Right? But, and guess what, Rogue? And the grand hypocrisy is that a lot of the boomers who making this argument, Americans, taxpayers was funding them when they were going to public schools.
Yeah, that's fact.
You see what I mean? So it was cool for them to receive it, but now that they're on the other end and it's time to fund the younger generation coming up, you know, we're pro-family. We love the kids up here in America. We don't even want to fucking provide them public education and some fucking free food during their school hours.
They hold on to their wealth.
That's fucking selfish.
So what did it mean? What did it mean for them to become a capitalist then, to participate in capitalism? Because hold up, wait a minute. Did it evolve for them well outside of the source that handed it to them?
No, because what they did was the only way they could change the system is change it from within. You start emergent. That's what I was telling you, man. They slowly change and transition. You start buying off the politicians one by one, all of a sudden. And guess what? It don't start at the federal level, Rogue. The guys like local. The Koch brothers. Am I saying it right, guys? The Koch brothers, the Koch brothers.
It's the Koch brothers.
Yeah, them dudes in Kansas.
We're watching you, Warlock. You better be okay. We're watching you, Warlock. Keep it cool.
They started in Kansas, Rogue. They didn't start at the federal government level. They started right at their local area. Mm-hmm. Right? That's how you build it up. And so what government's job is supposed to do, Rogue, is to prevent those motherfuckers from taking inch by inch, little by little.
Right.
You get what I mean? But guess what? Every single time you try to put an end to that, they've, for the last 40, 50 years, successfully been like, hey, maybe we shouldn't let corporations do this. Oh, what are you doing, you fucking commie? Oh, you want the regulations? Well, I mean, we are, yeah, that's what we're supposed to do to make it sure the free market is a fair, competitive market. That's literally the role that's defined in our government. But you see, Rogue, over time, we got people literally arguing for the government to not fulfill its functioning role.
Right.
Hey, Taru, quick question. As a 100% disabled vet, you don't have to pay property tax, do you?
In Ohio, I also got to pay property tax. Yeah, it's states like Texas and Florida that have no property tax scam. Here in Ohio, I get like 35% off, some shit like that.
Man, get out of there.
But I still got to pay. Yeah.
I can't use that. But get out of there.
No, I don't have a scam. I don't have a problem paying taxes. It goes to the same schools my daughters are going to right now. Why would
You know what? Now that you said that, at least you believe in what you're believing in what you're stating. I can't argue.
Yeah, dude, there's fucking kids that rely on that shit, bro. What I look like being like, man, let me try to. I'm already, bro, scam, as you know, and everybody, I'm 100% combat PTSD. So technically, the people help take care of me, bro. What do I look like? Even though, yes, I've been able to come with a second income. Yes, my wife makes a job. And so we pay more taxes, you know what I mean, did we take in. But what do I look like trying to be like, oh, nah, the public schools that my girls go to or the schools I went to, yeah, I don't want to fucking pay into that. I'm like, what?
I got you.
Yeah.
Now, me personally, if I didn't have to pay them taxes, I ain't paying. But I would show up and I would support and I would participate. There's something I would do as far as equity. Yeah. So it wouldn't just be I'm gonna do what I wanted, you know. But I don't have no kids. But no, I was gonna say is kind of that very point. If you told people, hey man, you need $5,000 off your taxes, fill out this form, they're gonna do it and they're gonna get the money and get the $5,000 refund. Then the very things they complain about with the government, man, they ain't take care of these people. They won't do that. All right, you know that 5,000. We need 500 to help with the funding from 100 people. They're not going to return your phone call. People are selfish. I've just come to terms with it. I'm selfish. Now there's levels of it.
What does selfishness have to do when it comes to the acquisition and utilization of power and economic models that monopolize power with
good question
aggregate of you?
Before you guys continue, real quick, Scam, you could go ahead. I just wanted to Mike Hunt, fully dysfunction or even 50% function better. Mike Hunt, that is respectfully, that is state by state. That is not a federal policy. In Ohio, right, you still got to pay property taxes. You just get a percentage. States like Texas and Florida, that's where you could get like the full property tax write-off and stuff like that. But Mike Hunt, that is state by state. Just so we're clear. Go ahead, guys.
One, it starts with the system. We're in a system of selfish people, and people look around and say, "What's
greed? Not self greed feeders. Greed feeders. I need y'all to adopt this Wile E. Coyote super genius term that I made up for these motherfuckers way back in second grade and shit. You feel me? Greed feeders.
Absolutely.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Anybody can be a greed feeder. It ain't got nothing to do with no motherfucking skin color. It's all about your valuing style.
Then there are opportunists. Then there are the undisciplined. Then there's the consumers. All of it ties into the system, creating more and more. Then there's the survivalists. All of this falls into the same system. That's all I can say as far as
you're saying basically having to endure the system and the system being made of the properties of one having to endure as opposed to being able to move with in ease.
Well, people's behavior when the system is bad to where it affects day-to-day life, everything falls within it and behavior has to For example, in Dominican Republic, ain't no police patrolling the streets like that. It's mandatory to wear a helmet if you're riding a motorcycle, bike, or whatever. 95% of people have no helmets on. I'm talking about kids, babies, everything. People ride up and down the wrong side of the street. It's Grand Theft Auto out here. But here's the thing, because these people ride on the wrong side of the street, now somebody else has to ride on the wrong side of the street. Because these people cut you off, now you have to cut somebody else off, and then it becomes Grand Theft Auto.
Is that bad?
Oh yeah.
Now hold up. Hold up. Would you think it would be different? Do you think it would be different with a different government and within position?
It would take a lot to get it fixed once it started, but asking for a government to make people be unselfish when people are born into this world, unselfishizing people, good luck.
And that's and
I'm not even a blame the system. I'm not even one of those who's a blame the government, blame the whatever. I'm not one of those at all. But I also see reality.
Yeah, that's why Rogan scam. The government has no business asking a non-human entity like corporations anything. Corporations adapt and evolve to the government.
No.
You get what I mean? To the people.
It has no business asking a human entity anything. A non-human entity, whatever the fuck that is, you know what I'm saying? I think that's...
Well, I'm saying like a non-human entity is a corporation, right? A corporation...
Exactly.
A corporation exists to... Right. A corporation exists purely to create or to generate a profit. Correct. Right? And that CEO is working on behalf of that corporation, right? And on behalf of the shareholders invested in that corporation.
Unfortunately.
So because that's inherently not the American people, that is a specific non-human entity.
It's more human than we think.
Well, I get it's ran by humans, but it's the structure itself. You get what I mean?
That shit ain't humans, alien. You don't get no motherfucking alien.
What I'm saying is the government, its job is to regulate the corporation.
Right.
On behalf of the individual.
Right.
By concept, yes. The government is humans.
Well, it needs to happen also in practice.
The corporation is greedy humans. The corporations have personalities. Bipolar, everything. Corporations are on meds.
Well, that's thanks to by the way, though, because
that never. Yeah.
Okay, you got it.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that became official in 2010 with Citizens United, because we decide our Supreme Court essentially said corporations are people too. That's where we really fucked up. Because that's what I'm telling you guys.
That was part of the solution of 2008.
And so you got all of these things, and so now you have this blur. Yeah. There is no wall, Rogue, because guess what? The corporations could choose to be individuals when it comes to campaign donations. But guess what happens when the corporation does a criminal activity? Somebody gets nobody goes to jail. Because you can't send a corporation to jail, Rogue. All you could do is fine them.
Yeah, and they got
you see what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
But back in the day,
that is an inevitable
they was sending executives back to prison.
That is an inevitable power shifting, which actually results in a newly realized unhidden hand. Because you say the hidden hand. That's basically a non-hidden hand.
Corporations go bankrupt instead of broke.
As I mentioned earlier, when I was talking about the updates, Rogue, they don't even, well, they haven't for a couple of years now, but now really they're not even going to pretend to hide the hidden hand, because the Supreme Court ruling just told them the corporations could do it to direct candidates directly, completely get rid of the middleman.
Luigi. Shit.
Oh man.
Don't push me, cause no, go ahead.
Push to the edge.
But hey guys, it's It's 12:34. We've been at it for a little over 2.5 hours. This was a great pod. I think we was really chopping it up and really had some good conversations, or good dialogue. Rogue, I'm gonna start with you, man. What are your final thoughts?
Hey, yo, thanks for the sharpening and the build and the hospitality. I holler at y'all on the flip. You know what I mean? Peace.
Yeah, peace, man.
All right,
Scam,
Rose.
what you got for us?
Make sure you're doing your critical thinking and evaluating from a full 360. These organizations, these corporations, these colors and everything, most of the time, they're not for you. They're not for you. It's not for your common good. Some of it maybe, some of it not. But don't think that to entirety, this is some people coming to save you. Other thing is keep your eyes open. Understand what things are and why things are. The more why questions that you can answer, the smarter that you are. Don't close your eyes. Keep your brain open, and don't believe the first thing that you say. Don't let your brain become an algorithm. Look at the left, look at the right, look behind, look forward, and then make a full decision based on all the information. But ask, why is this happening the way that it is? That's all I got.
Oh yeah, Scam. Thanks for rocking with us tonight, man. Really appreciate it. Anton, what you got for us, bro?
Like I said before, my final thought is this. Dems got to stop playing this kumbaya game, and they got to learn to change the program. And like I said before, Republicans are walking, talking contradictions. Love to play the holier than thou role and preach morals and family values, but they don't follow it themselves. That's been the problem. The problem also, like you were talking about before, there was a time when governments made sure that the corporations followed the rules. Now that corporations are taking advantage of not following the rules, if you try to make them follow the rules, now you're a communist. That's that old Cold War mentality. And even though I didn't live during the times when they were chanting better dead than red, and I didn't have to worry about McCarthyism, I did see the tail end of that old Cold War mindset. Because they kept pushing. Capitalism's good. Communism's bad. And the one time they kept pushing a lot of this nonsense was in the 1980s. Why do you got to work in a factory? Why do you got to work in an auto plant? Why do you got to work in a steel mill? Why do you got to work in a coal mine? No, if you want to be successful, you go to college. You go to college, you get that degree, and you can work in the corporate world. And then they sold some bullshit thinking within the next 5 years, you will either be the next Gordon Gekko or Alex P. Keaton. Translation, a good generation of people were sold a whole lot of bullshit, thinking doing anything that helps build the infrastructure is bad. That the only way you can be successful is wearing a suit and tie. But we still need people to keep the infrastructure going. We still need people to maintain roads. We still need people to maintain and build bridges. We still need people to take out the trash. We still need people to make sure law enforcement is done. We still need people to put out fires. We still need people to protect our parks. We still need people to patrol our shores. We still need people to make sure that things are get done at the airport. And these two common individuals make you seem like if you have that type of job, that's a bad thing. And that's the problem. And the reason why shit is not changing is because you got people who are supposed to be retired, collecting Social Security in these elected positions and feel like they need to die in office like it is their birthright. Robert Byrd, Dianne Feinstein, Strom Thurmond. What do they all have in common? Those, exactly. Robert Byrd was 93. Dianne Feinstein, who died most recently, was 92. Strom Thurmond was 100. Why do we have politicians who are at the age of our parents or grandparents still feeling like they can still do the job? No, they can't. There's a reason why, if you want to be a member of the House of Representatives, you have to be at least 25 years old. There's a reason why, if you want to be a U.S. Senator, you have to be 30 years old. There's a reason why, if you want to run for the office of the presidency, you have to be at least 35 years old. Why? Because ideas are supposed to evolve with time. And that is the problem. That is the problem with people over 60. They are too set in their ways. What the hell makes you think they're going to change? And it don't matter if they're a Democrat or a Republican. When they're set in their ways, good luck trying to get them to change their mind. That shit ain't never going to happen. That's why it needs to be a heavy push for a lot of us. Just like I said before, Tarus, that's why I carry the Constitution with me. You want to know how the system works? You get yourself a copy. I remember being on a panel sometime back with a friend of mine I graduated high school with. We were talking about public office in the elections and how the electoral college worked. And I told people to get a pen and a piece of paper. Gave them some numbers, explained it to them, had them do the math. And when they looked at it, they were like, that's it. That's it. And I learned it, and he and I both learned the system in 1993. Because these politicians know the easiest way to control people is to make it harder for them to understand how it works. That's why they don't teach civics anymore. And you're right, Chopper Timberland, we don't know our electors. While we're so focused on the big names, I guarantee you there's a good number of people that don't even know who their mayor is, or the members of their city council, or their county executive, or even their governor. I know who Gavin Newsom is. He's the governor of California. But guess what? I don't live in California. I know who Greg Abbott is. He's the governor of the state of Texas. But guess what? I don't live in Texas. I know Ron DeSantis is the governor of the state of Florida. But guess what? I don't live in Florida. But here's the thing. I should know who Mikey Sherrill is. She's a former U.S. Congresswoman in my district. Now the governor of my home state of New Jersey. I should know who she is. Why the fuck do I know who the governor of California is? Why the fuck do I know the governor of Texas is? Why the fuck do I know the governor of Florida is? Could you imagine if I didn't know who the governor of my own home state is? That just shows I wasn't paying the fuck attention. So I say this, man, ladies and gentlemen, eager young minds. If you want shit to change in Washington, pay attention to the men and women in your state, in your district, in your town, or borough, or city, or village. Understand who the men and women are there at that level. If you want to go along with the trickle-down theory, that's how you go along with the trickle-down theory. Fuck the money. Follow the elected officials and hold them accountable. And then work your way up. Because like they say at Fort Drum with 10th Mountain, find the glory. And if you want to get shit changed at the top, you got to start at the bottom. As Lincoln Park said, you look up from the bottom. Start from down and you work your way up. That's how you start getting shit done. That's how shit starts to change. That's how you start holding elected officials accountable. Learn how the system works. And if they're not teaching in school, you take the time to learn on your own. If we can take the time to read the sports section, if we can take the time to like someone's stuff, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Teach yourself how the stuff works. Don't learn after the fact. Be proactive, not reactive. And that's all I got to say. Know some words worth thinking about.
Hell yeah, man. Thanks for coming up. Hopefully we'll see you next week, man. Appreciate it.
Always.
Hell yeah. All right, guys. Everybody, Anton was correct. You better know who your representatives are. My representative, David Joyce or whatever, here in Ohio, don't like him. I don't like that bootlicking Trump supporters ass. There's a lot of y'all don't even know who y'all representative is. And that's a problem because yeah, I know, and most of us are probably going to know the mayor of New York. New York is literally the capital of the world, basically, right? And when I'm talking about Mamdani, I'm talking about it from the standpoint of, wish we had that here in Ohio. Somebody like that. I'm absolutely aware who's running for governor in my state right now. It's between Amy Acton, a healthcare professional, Democrat, who I'm absolutely riding with, or fucking Vivek Ramaswamy. Hell no. You get what I mean? I mean, that's a layup, guys. I'm riding with Amy Acton. Right? But some of you guys don't even know who's your current governor. And what's crazy is you can go look that up right now. You could go look that up tomorrow morning. And a lot of you still won't go look that up. You get what I mean? But I guarantee you, some of our fellow Americans will be the same ones who go to another panel, go to another comment section, and try to tell people to do their research. Right? They're going to tell people to do their research. You need to learn how the government works. You need to read a book. And them be the main ones when you ask them who their representative is. And we need to stop just accepting that. And I expect my fellow Americans to be better. And so I'm going to start treating y'all like y'all should be better. We should have been doing that from the jump. But it's never too late to start, even if maybe it is. I don't care if that's a contradiction or not. It's never too late to start. It's never too late to keep your foot up government's ass. Guys, and I'm talking about basic, fundamental paying attention to who your representative is, paying attention to the issues they support and don't support. Okay? That is not asking too much of our fellow Americans. That it's not. Okay? Paying attention to the representatives and the elected officials that you want to represent you at the best of their ability is not asking the world. Okay? And if that is, the government and everything is not your problem. You're the problem. And you actually have a much larger negative effect on your neighborhood than the government does, because you don't even give a fuck about your civic duty. But again, those guys, watch out for those kind of people, because they'll be the loudest telling you that you should be. That you guys need to pay attention. You guys need to be the ones who do your research. You got to do your research. You got to know the candidates. You got to know the issues. And you got to know the back of your hand, because the people who are demanding that from you, the reality is, guys, they don't know the issues like the back of their hand. And they're really getting their information from you. Like, guys, some of y'all know this, because even whether you're conservative or liberal, you're that person that for whatever reason, a lot of people in your circle get their information from you. And you're like, hold up. You be telling people do your research. You didn't see this? This was like all over the news. What the fuck you been paying attention to? We have to demand better of ourselves and of each other. There is no system that will work properly if we don't do the bare minimum as Americans and pay attention to what our government is and isn't doing. No matter what system we have, that is going to be a requirement. That is going to be an obligation we have. Stop running from that obligation. Stop pretending as if that obligation is too much to bear. And more importantly, start voting for people who are clearly talking about on the ground issues, not shit that you don't even know if it indirectly affects your cost of living or not. We keep saying it's the economy, stupid. It's the economy, stupid. Well, guys, can we actually vote that way for a change? Because so far, everybody just likes voting on whatever new culture war is going to come up. Okay? We're all talking about gas, healthcare, crumbling infrastructure, right? Everything dealing with inflation, the trade war, all of this. And watch a percentage of our fellow Americans vote against their own interests because something, gay, transgendered abortion. Y'all know it's coming. Y'all know it's on the horizon. Watch how many people fall for that dumb shit anyway. The hope is that every election cycle, the people that do fall for that dumb shit, less. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end it there. I hope everybody has a good week. I hope everybody makes it through. For the love of God, drink water, stay hydrated. If you got to be outside, make sure you're not just, you get some shade. Make sure you're trying to, just keep cool, guys. I don't know what else to tell you, man. It's tough, and it's going to be like this for the foreseeable future, meaning like for the next few weeks at least. So you know that. Operate based on that information, all right? Don't pretend as if the heat wave isn't going to affect you, okay? I'm Tyrus the Warlock. You guys make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the Black Man Unfiltered Network. You guys have a great week, and you guys have a great night. Peace.